listen to and react from the weekend that was. And you can join the show, 617-779-0985. Skaz is here today. We got intern Luke. He's going to answer the calls. I got to find the phone thing because everything looks a little different over here for me. And I'll set that up in a minute for you, and we'll set the table coming up in just a minute here. But a lot to get into. I know the Patriots, full first day of pads today. I do want to get some reaction to that and maybe an injury scare over at camp. So we'll touch on that. I certainly want to get in on the Red Sox. It was an interesting weekend over at Fenway. I have a lot of friends who work over there, and I heard that the ballpark was a lot of blue. A lot of blue. And, what is going on with the old vendor strike? Because I saw a guy make a one-handed catch at Fenway over the weekend, but he had a bunch of beers in front of him. I'm just kind of curious how he got those beers. Was that just cans and available, or they have other people there? It was very interesting how all that went down, and I'm curious to know how it did. So you can certainly call in 617-779-0985. Thank you, Luke, for doing that. Luke is doing a great job with us here at the Sports Up, and he is, last week we found out what was in his stack. He had this giant Tupperware bowl, as I'm trying to log into my computer. He had this giant Tupperware bowl. And it just looked really, really interesting to me. And we ended up opening it up, taking a look, and, there it is. He was loaded with all sorts of food. And we'll probably touch on that later on in the show. And, I did see Happy Gilmore, too. I'll give my reaction to it. 617-779-0985. I gave out the phone number 3 times, and we're ready to go here. And, of course, the opening take is brought to you by our good friends over at Super Service Today. Right? Yes, Super Service Today. All right, so the Red Sox from the weekend. This is the most the Red Sox have felt like a team to me all year long. All year long. They came back from being down 3-1 in the series. Right? Alex Bregman and Roman Anthony are doing damage. And both of them are hurting, by the way. Bregman's doing it. He doesn't look right. And Anthony might have injured his foot yesterday, but he's back in the lineup tonight. Ceddanne Raphael is playing second base and made an absolute amazing play in a desperation situation for the Red Sox out of the bullpen yesterday with Hicks. Absolutely did. And you got a little bit of a scare with Chapman. He did get Ohtani out, but then vomited all over the place. And we're hearing it's just a spasm. So we got to keep our eyes on that one when it comes to Aroldis Chapman. But how about Garrett Crochet, another win? Things are coming together for this team. They went 4-5 against the Cubs, Phillies, Dodgers. To me, that's fine. Did they pass the test? Did they pass the test against the Cubs, Phillies, and Dodgers? It can be debated. I'll say yes. They won 10 in a row. If you really want to add it up, they're 14-6 in their last 20 games. So I think they did pass the test. They hung on. They didn't get swept in a series. They had to battle back. They had to win in extra innings. And in those games, Garrett Crochet got 3 wins. Just to add to this, Crochet's now 8-0 with a 2.44 ERA with 86 strikeouts and 66 innings pitched. He joins Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens as the only Red Sox to ever go 8-0 or better in a sub 2.50 ERA and more than 75 strikeouts over a 10-game span. I know there was a lot there, but that's good. He's joining the likes of Pedro and Roger with his ERA and strikeouts. He's been outstanding. I should start looking at Garrett Crochet MVP odds. Should start looking at it. So the Red Sox went 4-5 against those teams. There are 7 teams with a winning percentage of .570 or more. The Red Sox don't play any of them until September 23rd. They still hold a wild card spot. As of today, No matter what you hear on other radio stations or on this station or across the country, you need to know this, Red Sox fans. As of today, as you hear my voice, the Red Sox are a playoff team. They're not treated like that in this town, and they don't deserve to be. But you know what? They are a playoff team right now. They need to make moves. There's no doubt about it. And when I say that they still hold an AL wildcard spot, they went from 3 games back to 6.5 back from the Blue Jays in the AL East. Like, yes, things are getting more difficult for the team. We're starting to see their first baseman start to come back to reality, right? Can Chapman really stay on this long? We don't know about Crochet, but he did it again. Can the young players continue to play at the pace that they are? All those things, maybe. Maybe. The team needs to make moves now to improve the team now. They need to make moves to improve now. There's only a couple of days to go. You've already been beaten out by a couple of teams. I'm not saying there's anybody that you truly missed out on yet. And I don't even know who's going to be available. The names I keep hearing are Shane Bieber and guys to that degree. Charlie Morton. Guys like that. But you know what? Fine. I just don't think you should give up anything for those guys. But if you want to add them, it's probably better than Dick Fitz. It is. It probably is better than that. I want to go over on the other side here just some of the things I think they can do. And John Henry was seen at Fenway Park over the weekend. And he had a comment. I want to share that with everybody as well. And what are some of the number one priorities for the Red Sox? As I guess they had a turbulent flight tonight. That's the worst. The game, has the game started yet? Because I wonder what the odds are tonight for that one. But they're on their way to Minnesota. They just took care of business, winning a series against the Dodgers, who just won the championship. It was an interesting weekend over there at Fenway. Of course, Mookie Betts made his return. I liked some of the embraces that he had. One with Dwight Evans. I thought that was really good. You saw him at shortstop, playing multiple different positions like he has. It just shows you what kind of guy he was. You miss him. I think he was a part of, taking that third called strike. I was shocked. Shocked the way that that game ended with him. But overall, there was a different buzz in the ballpark. People were talking about Red Sox baseball again. And yep, there's a lot going on there with the strike and the workers and et cetera. This weekend at Fenway, that was a destination. Boston was a destination. Now, it might have been because of Shohei Ohtani or Mookie Betts or Clayton Kershaw or the Dodgers, Dave Roberts, et cetera. No matter what, though, this weekend, Boston was a destination. And guess what? Reminder, the Red Sox are a playoff team as of right now. And they have a couple of days here to make moves to get better, to continue to make that playoff run. And therefore, that would make Boston and Fenway Park, yet again, a destination. 617-779-0985. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Mario. Get Skaz's thoughts, and the owner spoke. We'll get into more of that coming up here on the other side. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
this is the reality. Take anything of regarding this season away. Anything that you know, the struggles, the errors, whatever. As of right this second, the Red Sox are a playoff team. I don't call in and say, yeah, but they're going to blow it. You don't know that. Probably, but you don't know that. They should go for it. Yes, they should. Yes, they should. And then there are going to people who be like, well, I'm not going to do anything until the owner does something. Once the owner starts spending, I'll start spending. You've heard that before. Well, guess what, everybody? The owner, John Henry, that's his name. He's the owner. Was at Fenway Park over the weekend. Now, I don't know anything about the R-Mark deal. We had sources on the ground on Thursday calling about that, Skaz. I'm still trying to find out people who were at the game, how all that went. I would like to know that. But John Henry at the game over the weekend caught up with Rob Bradford. And Bradford got a quote from John Henry. Quote, I have a lot of faith in what Craig and the organization is doing, says Red Sox principal owner John Henry. I mean, hey. It's something. I'll take it. The guy never speaks. So, John Henry actually speaking is huge. John Henry actually being there means something. John Henry was there, everybody, and he has faith in what the organization are doing, which means he might spend. So maybe I'm getting a little carried away on that meaningless quote, putting so much meaning into it. I have a lot of faith in what Craig and the organization are doing. So again, Breslow has the owners here. Breslow's got the owners here. You can just watch the games and know they have holes. But you know what? Really, if you look at it, these one-run losses that they've had this year, I keep saying it, if they won a third of them, they're the best team in baseball. There's no way the Red Sox are the best team. They just played a class that are higher than them. They went 4-5. But to me, I think they hung in there. Like, they battled. They showed. Like, if that was a heavyweight match, the judges would have given the score to the teams, the Dodgers, and et cetera. But the respect was there. So I think there are still a few holes for the team, and I wanted to go over these. But John Henry speaking is huge. It's a slight attaboy. And I think he's going to back Craig and the organization. So priority number one for the Red Sox right now is finding a starting pitcher who can be relied upon. And maybe with some postseason experience. So Joe Ryan seems to be the big name. They're playing Minnesota. Let's see what happens. But they might be able to get a couple of starters if they have to. And they might be guys that are struggling in other places or maybe on the last year of their deal or whatever. But I think Charlie Morton's probably a deadline deal you could get. I read Shane Bieber today. There's other names that are out there. But I think that this weekend was a reminder of what the team really does need to prioritize at the deadline. Can Crochet continue to do this? It's the number one reason why you need another starter. Not to mention, if he is ready to go, you have now a tandem. The other thing is, what if Aroldis Chapman isn't ready to go? Who are you going to rely on late in the game? Jordan Hicks? Did you see that yesterday or over the weekend? I think the bullpen has been strong, and they probably deserve more credit than I'm giving them at the moment. But they need a late inning arm. And that might be another priority. Here's one other thing I wanted to bring up. Since July 10th, the combination of Romy Gonzalez and Abraham Toro at first base is a combined 6 for 55 at the plate with 2 extra base hits. That just can't be ignored, everybody. They got a problem over there. By the way, I saw Bobby Dahlbeck hit another walk-off home run for wherever he is last night. But I think pitching, front of the rotation, back of the rotation, First base. I'd prioritize that if I'm the Red Sox. And I do have some odds for you coming up in a minute here, and I wanted to get into Roman Anthony. And I see you guys line up on the phone, 617-779-0985. Skaz, may I bring you in, sir, to get your opinion, number one, on John Henry, saying that he has a lot of faith in what Craig and the organization are doing. He actually spoke, and I think that, although I might get false hope, because we all know hope's a bad thing, hearing the owner actually speak about the organization and Craig, and being there, actually, to me, sounds like he's interested.
Yeah, I mean, I think John Henry has full faith that Craig Breslow will do exactly as he's told. I think that's what his full faith is, that he'll spend exactly as much money or as little money as John Henry tells him to. So if I had someone working for me that was going to do exactly what I asked them to do, I would have, a decent amount of faith in that as well. You mentioned Charlie Morton. That's a name I couldn't be less interested in.
41.
He's 41. He stinks. He's stunk for a while.
How about Shane Bieber?
Shane Bieber, I guess, is slightly more interesting. He's 30. He's coming off an injury, right? He's only like 2-0 this year or something like that. So I guess there's more upside there. But my fear is the Charlie Morton route, that we're doing Hansel Robles again, that we're picking up the scraps of another team where we're going to trade, a mid-tier asset for a guy with a 5.5 ERA because he can eat some innings. I'm not interested in that. We've done that the last couple of years. They've brought in bum after bum at the trade deadline who's, an MLB arm, I guess, which might even be, a little nice to some of these guys they've brought in. This team has shown you that they're good. They can compete. Can they win? They need some help, I think. They need a little. I think they need a bat. I know you mentioned the starting pitching. I think they need a bat and starting pitching and a reliever or two if they're actually going to seriously compete. So that's a tall order for Craig Breslow. I have a bad feeling that they're going to middle it again with one of these guys that is in the Charlie Morton mold that has, a 4.5, 5.5 ERA who can give you some innings. But I hope they make an actual splash for a difference maker. I hope it's a legit starter, a legit back end of the bullpen guy, and a legit power bat. To me, that would mean that John Henry is actually interested. Charlie Morton, it means John Henry is doing what John Henry always does and saving a few bucks.
It's saving a few bucks, and it's, hey, all right, well, Cora likes him. Maybe he can find magic. Guys, I can't think of a better team in Major League Baseball that should go for it than the Red Sox. And I'm not saying that because they're the home team and it's a team that, we prioritize here. But like if you look around, Detroit's probably another team that I think maybe should.
I think the Blue Jays should go for it.
Blue Jays should absolutely. They're the best team in baseball.
Yeah. The Brewers are probably a team that's looking at going for it.
The fellow who got caught gambling today, I heard, was
Emmanuel Clase, right?
I guess the Blue Jays were at least
something in the water over there.
Something going on over there. Well, I want to touch on that later because Shaughnessy had a really good article from the Hall of Fame. Which did you know it was this weekend?
Yeah, no one does as good of a job advertising for their Sports Hall of Fame as the MLB. Do it right in the middle of the season. Do it when games are being played. It's great marketing for Major League Baseball.
I watched Ricky Henderson's. Do you know that I worked here with Troop? Story time with Joe and Troop. I sat here with Troop on a Sunday, and during the breaks, we turned up Ricky Henderson's speech, which was one of the greatest speeches I ever heard in my life, by the way.
I happened to, and I didn't watch it live because who was this weekend, but I saw so many excerpts from Ichiro's speech.
Oh, Ichiro was awesome.
And I watched it, and it was great. Ichiro's tremendous.
But stay with that because I want you to know that there seems to be a disconnect between the Hall of Famers and the new game. And I think we're seeing it here in this town. And this is my point about the Red Sox going for it. You're right. The Blue Jays should be a team that should go for it. They just locked up their star player, right? They're right there. Like the Yankees are hanging around, but the Red Sox are somewhat chasing them as well. They're a team that could just load up. They haven't been afraid in free agency either, right? But this is why the Red Sox need to be more aggressive. It's my point. They have the prospects. You have the money. You can take on salary. There's no better team to do this than the Red Sox. And to hold them accountable, the Red Sox motivations during the offseason were that they wanted to have the mindset of playing in October. And here you are. You're a playoff team. I wanted to mention something about Roman Anthony real quick. You know he's batting leadoff now for the rest of the year? I don't know if I like that. I loved the Anthony Bregman. I loved that combo. I could it continue? I don't know how they're going to continue to do that. I saw the lineup today, but Cora basically said that he's going to be the leadoff man going forward. He's been batting 3, I believe, right? I don't know. I watched the entire game yesterday, which I love, but I wanted to just see what the lineup was yesterday. But I wonder how that works. Like Kyle Schwarber was a guy that could bat leadoff as well. Anthony did bat leadoff yesterday with Bregman. I do like that. I like Bregman or Anthony Bregman. I like that. This Duran thing, I don't know. Why is he batting third? What's going on there? I'm going to question that one for a little bit going forward. All right, 617-779-0985. I've been giving out the phone number a lot. So why don't we take a couple of calls here as I pull up my call screener? Why don't we start with Chris in Hull, Skaz, if you can bottom up. What's up, Chris?
How you doing, brother?
Good, man.
So I was at the game on Saturday. 6:45. I go down, grab a couple beers. I'm still in line when the 2 home runs come from the Dodgers. It was absolutely ridiculous. I'm obviously, you don't got the people in the stands. You can't have replacement workers walking around with steaming hot dogs, steam water, whatever. But, you got the biggest series of the season so far, probably 3,000 Dodgers fans. My girlfriend, her parents come from L.A., come to watch the game, and I spent 3/4 of the time in line waiting for beer. It was crazy.
They did, though. And not for nothing, bro. I put that on you because, they set the expectation that there was going to be potentially a strike this weekend, and they wanted people to be prepared for that. So, like, I hate to. I know what you're saying. I think that's on you.
Well, I like beer, Joe. What do you want me to say?
No, I just don't. I don't think we should be complaining about something that someone set an expectation for.
No, I get it. It's just
was the game fun?
Well, I had my 16-month-old kid with me, and he was miserable, so it was all right.
Real quick, so if Aramark wasn't working, who was working?
I think it was just some sort of like a work service, right? Like replacement work. Because some lady was talking about how she worked at another bar the night before. It's just kind of like a work service.
So you're saying that the work service made you stay in line all day and that they should fix the problem and bring Aramark back?
Well, I'll tell you a quick story. While I'm waiting in line for it, I was about, 8 or 9 people behind from getting to the front. And the lady behind the counter, her phone rings. She goes behind and takes a call.
Oh, must have been important.
She came back and started pouring beers, so I don't know.
All right, buddy. He likes beer. I just thought that was funny. I like beer. I will say, very truthfully, I was curious what it was going to be like this weekend. Place was jam-packed. I was happy for the Fenway people. Mason's in Buffalo. Mason.
Hey, what's up, Joe? How are you doing? So,
How you doing?
something I wanted to talk about is, I don't know if you saw it today, but Christian Gonzalez appeared at training camp today. He appeared to be limping. He had to be taken out. They're saying he might possibly be injured. What are your thoughts if he has to, if it's bad and he has to miss a few weeks? What do you think about our cornerback depth?
Ooh, I got a take on this coming up in a little bit. Not good though. Not good. Let's talk to Justin and Lynn. Justin!
Hey, Joe, I just want to tell you, I think Sebastian John Henry showed up this week. This weekend finally shows me that there's finally a direction with his Red Sox team, Joe. I think finally we're seeing him, want to be interested in this team again after 5 years. Your thoughts, Joe?
Maybe he likes some of these young kids and wanted to get a look for the first time. Like, hey, who is this Roman Anthony guy? By the way, did you see this son, Anthony? He's been one of the biggest pieces of the whole change since the Red Sox traded Devers. Since June 28th, he's reached base. Ready for this one, Luke? Ready? He's reached base in 29 of his 32 games. He has the fourth best on-base percentage over that stretch. That's a number. You want to flex a number around on-base percentage, right? Getting on base? No doubt about it. Roman Anthony's certainly doing that. And now he is your leadoff hitter with Jared Durant batting third. Is that what it is tonight? I know the game is just about to get the first pitch going here. So we're taking you right now to the headline. And the Patriots. Someone just called about Christian Gonzalez. What happened today? I got thoughts on the first day of full pad. So Skaz is here. We got our intern Luke. We're here till 11 o'clock tonight. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Well, I like beer, Joe. What do you want me to say?
Essential.
Oh, jeez. I want to react to the Patriot stuff today, and I certainly the guys. You're reacting from the weekend. We're on YouTube tonight. Just want to give a shout out to everybody watching on YouTube. We got 80 people in there right now, so if you want to watch the show or read the chat, there's people in there rooting for Yaz's grandson, Russ Fox. Carrie Ann's in there. Tom G. These are the people that are in there every night. Einbein. What's up, Einbein? I heard you're getting some good news, my man. So good for him. I see all our regulars in there. New people, though. Who's Mark? Jimmy. I don't know these people. Well, welcome. And welcome to you guys. Just go to 98.5 The Sports Hub. Actually, go to youtube.com. Then search 98.5 The Sports Hub. I've never heard of Igor either. So hello, Igor. Welcome to the chat in B. Pudster. We're off the air. Skaz and I were talking about AOL and how he didn't have AOL but had AIM. And then we asked Luke if he had AIM, and he had no clue what AIM was. And so, therefore, I feel old. We got, oh, my God. You know what? I think I should take this call. Paul is in Kansas City. He wants to give us an update on Bailey Zappi. What's up, Paul?
What's up, Joe? How are you, man?
How you doing?
So I'm doing well. I was thinking about you yesterday. As you know, I live in Kansas City, born and raised in New England, and I've been here for 10 years. And my kids are all Chiefs fans, and I can't get that out of their blood. But we went to camp yesterday, and to tell you, Zappi, third string, man, he was one and done with each of the rotations. He looks terrible. So. And I was thinking about you yesterday. I had to call in to joke with you, but it's not looking good for Mr. Zappi. Number 14 with the Chiefs. I don't know how long that number will stay with them.
Yeah, I will say this, though. I was right. The gap should have never been as close between Zappi and Mac Jones, and that was my whole point.
Good point.
And Paul, just to add another one here, listen, if the Patriots were going to keep Zappi around, they were going to suck, okay? Like, you know what? I'm still going to – I died on the hill a long time ago. So I'm dead on that hill. But I will say this. I do think that they could have found ways to win with him. And I don't think the gap was that far with him and Mac Jones. I don't.
Yeah.
By the way, who's the backup for the
you.
Chiefs? Is it it's Gardner Minshew. Yeah. Zappi ain't cutting it.
Paul,
No.
I just wanted to know, did Patrick Mahomes look fat when you were there?
Let me tell you, I was looking for that, guys, and he looked good. Let me tell you, and even Kelsey, because we were at camp and he was up. They look good. And again, it's camp. It was the first day, so they had first day of full pads yesterday. So they were out there and it was full throttle. And and I was at Patriots camp last year, and I know things have changed this year, and I haven't been this year under the new regime, but it's night and day, man. I'll tell you, Andy Reid, it was quick. Everything's in and out. But I'll tell you, I think that's the direction the Patriots are heading. At least I'm hoping. But anyways, yeah, I was thinking about you guys when I was.
No. Hey, listen.
Hill.
You know what, Paul? I'm glad that you get to do something fun and different with your kids, and laugh about our takes. I think that's part of the gig, right?
That's right. Well, I love you guys. I listen to you every day, and keep up the great work. So thanks again.
I got you, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'll take Zappi calls all the time. And if Patrick Mahomes is fat.
I am shocked that Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce look good in training camp. That surprises me.
Saw Travis Kelce over the weekend.
Yes, I did too, Joe. We're going to have a little movie review later on, maybe.
And on that, we're going to do that. I wanted to ask him what he thought about the offensive line for the Chiefs, because they have some issues there.
Does it matter when Patrick Mahomes is your quarterback?
Well, it did in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, it matters when you get to the Super Bowl and face the best defensive line in football.
Both the Tampa and... I mean, I'm Skaz. I don't know if I ever told you the story, but true story. I was asked after the Bucs-Chiefs Super Bowl to do the post game for the Super Bowl, but it was COVID, so they asked me to do it from home. So I sat in my skivvies, and after the game, talked about the whole entire game all night long, took calls. I don't know who was here. Might have been Jeff. But I took calls all night long. And I was shocked that the Chiefs, who were like the best offense, didn't score Didn't score a touchdown the entire game. And they did against the Eagles, but I think it was like a junk touchdown, right? Like after halftime. But people want to talk about the offensive line with the Patriots, and we should. So I had sources on the ground today, and we're going to have sources on the ground at 8:20 today when we talk to Taylor Kiles from CLNS later on in the show. But I guess the run game, very good for the linemen. The pass game, iffy. So, run blocking better than pass blocking on day one of full pads. I think that's come expected. The big story is Christian Gonzalez left. Is it okay, Skaz? You ready for this one? People are going to take this one and be like, I can't believe Joe said this. So this isn't a Joe take. This is an actual question. I have a take, but I'm going to ask a question. Is Christian Gonzalez an injury risk? As a player, is he an injury-riddled player?
I would say no.
Has he played a full season? I'm asking a question. I have a take, but I'm asking a question. And you guys can all call in and talk about it. But that's my question. Is Christian Gonzalez an injury-riddled player? And I know that he played 4 games his rookie year. He got injured his second year, right?
He played 16 games last year.
So this is what year is this for him? Third?
This is his third season.
Third. Okay, so he's played 20 games. Okay. And he played a full season last year. Well, he missed 2 games?
He missed 1 game.
Oh, 1. Sorry, 18 weeks. So he's played 20 games. So you say no, Skaz. You say
I think it's too early to call him injured. 2 years, and he played 16 games last year. I'm not going to put that tag on him.
Okay. That's on the table. Let's not forget. Money, 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 money. Have you seen the money going on for these corners around the league? See what Derek Stingley's getting and Sauce Gardner's getting? Could an injury hold up a potential deal like that for Christian Gonzalez? Will it be used against him if he could miss time? Also, if he misses time, Carlton Davis is missing time too. Now, granted, there's 40 days until opening night. 40 days, everybody. But next up would be Isaiah Bolden or, Marcus Jones would probably get more of a look. So, are they a little thin back there? Your thoughts at 617-779-0985. Nick is in North Attleboro. Nick.
Hey, Joe. First, real quick. Sorry, I was pulling out. I didn't of a parking lot for the record. I don't think it's fair to slap an injury tag on Gonzalez yet. But my call today was I've been to training camp twice so far, and the wide receivers, honestly, all have been looking pretty good, except when Woolridge is overthrowing them. Basically, my question is, who do you think is going to get cut? Because, between Polk, Baker, Williams, someone's not going to make this team. And I just wanted to know who you thought might not be making the cut this year for wide receivers. Thanks. I'll hang up and listen.
Okay, wide receiver. I think that if they can somehow get Javon Baker, Efton Chisholm on the practice squad, that would be solid. I think they're going to go, as of right now, I think it's going to be Pop Douglas, Stephon Diggs, Mac Hollins, Kayshon Boutte. There's 4. I think Kendrick Bourne's going to have to take a pay cut because he's going to have to. If he does, that's 5. I would probably say Jalen Polk hangs on at 6. So I got 6 right now. I think Jalen Polk hangs on. Let's take another call here. There's something going on in New York right now, too, that keep my eye on. Jake is in Easton. Jake.
Joe, I got one question for you. I'm a big Banderas guy, the number one best deli in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Give me your top 3 sandwiches, and I got Fantastic at 1.
Fantastic. Well, listen, Banderas, just so you know, friend of the show. They make the best. Dolly makes the best meatballs in the world. I would put her meatballs up against anybody's meatballs.
I had the meatball sub, but I'm going to let you know, I don't think it was as good as the Fantastic.
Well, you know what? I think the meatballs are incredible. I heard they make a mean Italian. I would go to chicken parm as well, but I like what. But again, it's the summertime on the Cape. Do you really want something really hot? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I think you didn't eat anything coming out of that place. How about the pizza? You had the pizza? I saw that on the Instagram. It looked pretty good.
I've never had their pizza, but I joined them on the Roni Rumble a year ago, and it was fantastic. What is the Fantastic? Will you tell me what it is?
It's like chicken cutlet with, I don't know, a whole bunch of stuff. But it's the bomb. Let me tell you, it's the bomb. Like prosciutto and a bunch of stuff. Tomato.
Do you know them? Is that why you're calling, or do you know that I know them? Or?
No, I'm just a friend of the program. In a sense, I go every time I'm down there. I go.
Yeah, that's where I stay when I go down. Dolly's incredible. Kenny's the man. Mikey Banderas is Mr. Mikey is all I can tell you. He's the man.
Yeah.
What about
all
Easton?
Right, Joe,
what do we got?
What
do we got going on in Easton? What do you got going on out there? Barrels and boards. What else we got out there?
No, Barrels and Boards is in Raynham. We got McGuire's.
What's in Easton?
McGuire's Bar and Grill.
Okay, McGuire's. You been there?
Get the Honey Huts. The Honey Huts are amazing.
The Honey Huts, huh? All right.
Yeah.
Skaz is a Raynham guy as well.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then you got Stonehill College, and that's good for nothing. So.
Well, shout out to Banderas Sub Shop in Dennis, Massachusetts. Dolly's makes the best meatballs, and I stand by that. Great bread, too. Great sandwiches. All right, never mind. Moving on, Skaz. This hour of the Sports Hub. It's been brought to you by our good friends over at Valve Linux and Oil Change. Enjoy quick and convenient vehicle minutes this month. Visit NewEnglandOilChange.com for 15% off an extra through oil change at Valve Linux and Oil Change, the official oil change of busy people. All right, on the other side here, I want you all to rank the rookies in order this year, the contributions that they'll make to the team, and also Christian Gonzalez. Is he an injury-riddled player? We'll do all that in the next hour. We'll talk with Taylor Kyles as well. I'm Joe Murray, 98.5 The Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on The Sports Hub.
travel, but they did make it on time for the game. Of course, the trade deadline just a couple of days away. We do have some NFL stuff today. First, the Broncos have locked up Mr. Sutton to a 4-year, $92 million deal. Of course, Cortland Sutton, same age as who? Terry McLaurin. The Patriots had full pads today. Christian Gonzalez left, though. Went to the tent. No word yet on the injury, but something, of course, to monitor. Headlines, they are brought to you by... Who are they brought to you by, Joe? Well, they're brought to you by Super Service Today, which is Massachusetts' #1 provider for residential and commercial plumbing, heating, cooling, and drain cleaning. Day or night, always done right. Visit superservicetoday.com. I'm Joe Murray.
Get
There's the potential there for big stuff.
98.5 The Sports Hub app. Get the app.
Mike, when we talk to the guys on the offense here, players and coaches, very few of them have experience in Josh McDaniels playing for him and his offense. What's that like, having kind of a whole team learning the offense and system together?
It allows people to stay engaged, and there's modifications that we make, and we'll do that defensively and offensively. You put something in, and then you always have the ability to adjust it. And Josh is working well, and they're all working well together offensively about how we want to get things done. And that's, I think, when something's new, put a little bit more time into it, just so that you can kind of get the details and you don't maybe take things for granted.
All right, hour 2 of the Joe Murray Show. I'm so weird saying that. It's the Joe Show, the night show. We're here all night. We're back here all week long, everybody. All week. Full shows. We are here. Tomorrow night, in studio at this time, we're going to have Mike Kadlick from Sports Illustrated. Also does some work with CLNS. We're going to be joined by one of his podcast partners tonight, Taylor Kiles, who is at Patriots camp today, coming up in just about 15 minutes or so stay tuned for that. But that was Mike Vrabel talking before the first full day of pads for the Patriots. A couple of things I just wanted to touch on. Number one, Will Campbell versus Keon White seemed to be something everybody was watching. There were times I heard that White put Campbell on his ass. There were times I heard Campbell put them on their ass as well. So it's hard for me to really break down line talk, but if you're down there and you're looking, what are you seeing? And I heard today from everything that I had sources on the ground, people that were there telling me that the run game was explosive. But again, as someone who played line, it's easier to run block than it is pass block. So duh. But there were multiple tweets today about Keon White and Will Campbell. But for the most part, people felt that Will Campbell held his own and looked very good in the run game. I mentioned earlier the Christian Gonzalez stuff. Left to the tent. No word yet. No Gonzalez, no Carlton Davis right now. This is at least going to give some other guys an opportunity. I don't love that, though, because I think having both Gonzalez and Davis, and again, it's 40 days away, but you have two elite corners out there. That should really help your defense if you shorten a certain area. But right now, since they're both down, it's going to be Marcus Jones probably in the nickel. And then where do you go? And right now on the depth chart, it's Alex Austin. If you remember him, he had an interception a while back. And the other player that they have there, and I'm looking at it right now, Isaiah Bolden, DJ James, Kobe Minor. Who the hell is that guy? He had to be a college player, right? Memphis. There we go. Who? So if no Gonzalez and no Carlton Davis, who? To me, that's a problem. So my take on Christian Gonzalez is this. The Patriots have to pay Christian Gonzalez. I wouldn't personally. I do worry about the injuries. I do think he's too thin. I also think you could find another corner that you can groom. But you drafted this guy. He's good. And the number one thing this year for the New England Patriots is becoming attractive and showing other teams, players, and their own players that they are willing to spend money on good players. So when I saw this weekend that Slater got an extension with the Chargers, I immediately thought, Will Campbell. Right? When a quarterback gets an extension, I'm immediately going to think Drake May. Just like last week, when Sauce Gardner got his extension, I immediately thought Christian Gonzalez. The injuries are a thing with this kid. And I know he played 16 games a year ago, missed one. First year was a knee thing, and that's it. But I would tread lightly with this guy. I don't think Christian Gonzalez needs to prove anything at camp. How about that? I want him, and I want Peppers ready to go on week 1. I don't even think Carlton Davis needs to play a snap. Those two guys are a priority right now for the defense. But this gives guys who I have no clue again. Kobe Minor. DJ James? Who the hell is that? Who the hell are those guys? Oh, where's Josh Minkins, my guy? Anyways, this is what I wanted to do this segment. All right, Skaz, let's have some fun with this one. I want you to rank the rookies this year and who will make the biggest impact in order. So I'll give you Campbell. All right, actually, why don't you give me your names? I want my list first.
You're saying like every rookie, all rookies. Patriots rookies. Yes. I thought you were just going to put me on the spot. I was going to say, I don't know, Cam Ward.
Who do you think will make the most impact to the Patriots this year as a rookie?
I mean, it has to be Will Campbell for me. Who do I think will actually, I think people are going to love the running back, Henderson there. I think he's going to be instant impact. He's a guy you can plug in. But the most impact is your left tackle, the starting left tackle. Good or bad, he's going to have the most impact, whether it's him playing great and looking like a cornerstone left tackle or him potentially getting, Drake May blindsided a couple times. He has the most impact, good or bad, to me.
Number 1 and 2, no doubt about it, Campbell, Henderson. Campbell needs to be Campbell. He needs to be a left tackle. He just needs to be a reliable left tackle. That's it. If he's Matt Light, I'm fine with it. If he's, Tunsil, I'm fine with it.
What if he's Nate Solder? Great, right?
I'm fine
Great.
with it. Now, you could judge the number 4 overall, but again, if you can get a guy over there that can solidify the position for 10 years, you take it.
Yeah.
Vollmer and, they had a guy, Nick Kasier, that was here for a little bit, nice little player, but he could solidify for a little while. I want a guy that's going to solidify it for the Drake May run, and I hope that's what he is. But Henderson's definitely second.
Yeah, and then after that, for me, I think Kyle Williams is the name that's coming up. We heard the Zone Beetle clip. Everyone's high on Kyle Williams. I think the center has potential to be one. But for me, Joe, it might be the kicker. It might be, is it Borregales?
Wow, I didn't even have him on my list.
But kickers matter, Joe. We've learned, Chad Ryland can hurt you or he can help you, depending on where you want your draft pick to be. So if that's going to be your starting kicker, that matters to me. Wow. 6th-round pick, that to me matters.
Good one. He could be third. He could be. I had Jared Wilson third. He's the center you were talking about from Georgia who can play a little bit of left guard and right guard. I just think he's going to play. And they do this with a lot of centers. Now, Damian Woody, when they drafted him in the first round, plug and play, bing, bang, boom.
Brian Stork was a guy, right?
Right away. Dan Copen, late, but he beat guys out and won the position, right? David Andrews, same thing, right? So I do think that centers that can play, if you can use them as interior linemen as well, that's how they get on the field. The other guy that I'm high on, I've watched him play a little bit, and I'm still a little concerned about the secondary, is Craig Woodson. Safety out of Cal. I think he's I don't think they have a true free safety, Skaz. I think that they have Duggar and they have Jabril Peppers, and I think that they're in the box safeties. I think they can get beat deep. I think we've saw Kyle Duggar today in practice got beat by Henderson. So I'm just saying I don't know if they have a true free safety back there.
What about the guy we talked to, Joe? You think he's got a shot?
He's still on the NFI, I think, right? So, yeah, I don't think he has actually practiced yet. I'll have to look into that. I don't think he has.
Yeah, I don't think he has either.
The long shot here, too, is Marcus Epps. He can play. He had the same injury as Stephon Diggs. So he might be coming back a little bit later than some. I think he might be on the field, actually. Oh, we'll ask Taylor Kyles about who's down there, who's not. But you mentioned Gonzalez. The last guy that I had was Kyle Williams. I'm hearing a lot of great things about the wide receiver. To me, he's a secret weapon. To me, if it's looking like what they know, it's Diggs, it's Douglas, and it's Bourne. When you go with a fourth wide receiver, maybe it's Williams, maybe it's Hollins. I don't know. I just think that they're going to pick and choose when this kid plays. But I think when he does play, he'll make impactful plays. Which this is the reason why I don't have him in the top 3. Gonzalez was a good one. Didn't have him on my list.
Kickers matter, Joe. Everyone
no, they do.
Right
on this team.
Kicker. Oh, yeah,
by the way,
team.
I think Nick Folk worked out for the Jets today. Who's still available at 40 years old.
He was pretty good.
He could kick a football. He certainly could. Dan Orlovsky had a big did a little thing on what was it? NFL Live. He mentioned if those 3 rookies can be big-time players for the Patriots, there's a chance the organization and the team are going to make noise a lot sooner than people expect. And he was talking about Henderson, Campbell, and Kyle Williams. I agree. I just think in this draft, they need more contributions. So that's why I bring up Woodson. I think Woodson can really help out back there. Gonzalez could really help out. And Jared Wilson. So I don't love where you have to depend on a rookie. But this team, they tried to last year, and those rookies failed. The jury is out on that team. That draft class from a year ago, it was bad. It was super bad from last year. A lot of stuff happening at camp at the moment right now. I'm seeing injuries on galore. It's tough. You only get so much time with these guys, man. Oh, Parker Romo, 6 for 6 today. And Gonzalez didn't kick today. Did you hear that?
I don't know if I want to be relying on a Romo, Joe, late in these games.
Out. Oh, yeah, late in games? Yeah, I know. Nobody wants that. All right, we're going to talk to Taylor Kyles, everybody. He does a great job over at CLNS. He's got breakdowns galore. And we'll get his insight on what happened over at the first full pad day for the Patriots. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray, listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub. The Patriots full padded practice today. Also got the Red Sox on no score right now, bottom of the third inning. They had a crazy flight, which I would not like that. Out on crazy flights. That's how I feel about that. All right, Skaz and I just did a nice little activity. We'll ask our next guest coming up, Taylor Kiles, what his thoughts are on the rookies this year. And, of course, he is joining us right now on 98.5 The Sports Hub, courtesy of CLNS. Taylor Kiles, sources on the ground today. What's up, Taylor?
How you doing, buddy? Thanks for having me.
I'm good, man. I saw that you were down there. And I wanted to get your expertise because I know you like to get into the nitty-gritty when it comes to, the linemen and their stances. So I ask you, Will Campbell and the line, what was your takeaway from the first day of padded practices?
Well, the overall takeaway was it was a very competitive day. You had snaps from all three units, I thought, the starters, the second stringers, and the third stringers, where the offensive line was opening some big holes, but then you also had some plays where the defensive line was meeting guys at the line of scrimmage. And one of the things that Vrabel emphasized before practice was that back and forth and wanting some of those stalemates. And I thought you saw a lot of back and forth. And that's something I think we haven't really seen much of, at least since I've been on the beat over the past couple of years. And then getting more specific into the rookies in the trenches, Will Campbell, he did struggle early on, and I'm relying on some observations from Evan Lazar and Brian Hines, my beloved colleagues. They were watching one-on-ones, and Will Campbell lost to Keon White initially. He kind of got put on skates, and then Keon White was able to rip through. Now, in his defense, that's a trial by fire because Keon White, I think, is in for a very big year. But then when you got to 11-on-11s, you started to see Will Campbell, who I think will be a plus run blocker and a really impactful starter for this offense, start to move Milton Williams on a couple of snaps, and he stalemated, I believe, Keon White and Calevon Chason in pass protection. So that was a definite positive. Jared Wilson, the rookie center/guard, spent some time at center for Garrett Bradbury, but also replaced Cole Strange left guard at times. He had a fumble snap, but I also saw a couple of really nice pulls from him in the run game. So you never expect rookies to be perfect, but I liked seeing that resilience from Will Campbell and also, some flashes from Jared Wilson. Center is still a new position for him. He only played it for 1 year at Georgia. He's a career guard, so, no reason to, ring any alarm bells yet.
All right, the reason why I'm starting off with the line is it's hard to really get a good gauge, and I know that people who have been down there who are guests on this radio station, they are trying to find something, right? Well, it's Will Campbell's arms, or it's this. So you're saying that as far as a run blocker, Will Campbell looked outstanding. When I think that's always been his mantra, or at least his scouting report. But what I'm looking at is last year the team struggled on stunts and crosses and just like stuff you learn at at a college level. Were they blitzing? Were they doing things like that? And what has Doug Marrone and Josh McDaniels brought to the offensive line this year?
I didn't necessarily see a lot of stunts or anything. I think this was pretty rudimentary. They spent a lot of time in the red zone. They did have a few blitzes off the edge. I think that's where you saw like Marcellus Dial and Jabril Peppers were able to make a bit of an impact. In terms of what they brought up front, from Doug Marrone, what we usually hear is that he's just a very straightforward coach, and I think that the guys really appreciate that. And there's just a level of competitiveness that Josh McDaniels brings. Like, this is a guy who has 6 Super Bowl rings. He understands what it takes to be a line that can compete week in and week out. And like I said earlier, we saw that in practice, and I think that the standard they're being held to, not just by Marrone and by McDaniels, but also by Mike Vrabel, where there's a very clear level of expectation, and there's a level of not exactly fear, but Brendan Schooler said you have a healthy respect at least for what Mike Vrabel brings, and it's been nice to watch after a couple years where it was up and down.
All right, Taylor Kiles joining us here, CLNS. Christian Gonzalez, what'd you see, man?
Looked like, so he got injured on a play where he was covering Stephon Diggs on a crossing route. His left leg, it was his upper leg, so I don't want to make any, assumptions on what the injury was, but, I mean, once he was out, I will say that he was replaced ultimately. They had Alex Austin and Marcus Jones as the primary outside corners. Marcellus Dial, actually, who was a late-round pick last year, started to factor in the slot. So that's just an idea of what it looked like when Gonzalez left practice, but obviously hoping the best and still waiting to hear what exactly happened to him.
All right, Taylor. So this isn't me saying you're saying it, but I asked the question earlier. I asked Skaz. He said no. Is Christian Gonzalez an injury-riddled player? Did we lose him? We lost him.
Says he's still there, but
oh boy.
We'll call him back.
Okay. Oh, there he is.
There he is. I'm back.
You're back. I don't know. You dropped like you were. You know how like when you're on a cell phone and like you're in a bad area and you just drop out.
I'm in the middle of my house. I haven't moved. I pinky swear.
No, it's probably us. I'm telling you, it's probably us.
Well, at least we're back. I missed you.
No. So my question was, I'm not saying you're saying it. I'm asking, do you think that people can make the case that Christian Gonzalez is an injury-riddled player?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I think it's been different things. And again, that's not really my territory. I'm the X's and O's guy. I'm not really trying to prognosticate over there.
No, you're not. That's why I didn't want to say Taylor Kyle said this. You get what I mean? But I think
I get you.
But does he need these reps?
Too, brother.
Does he need these reps? Does he need these reps right now, though?
No, I don't think. I mean, it's important to a degree. You got to get your body in football shape. But if Christian Gonzalez was placed in bubble wrap for the rest of the summer, I don't think anybody would mind too much.
So who's after Carlton Davis and Christian Gonzalez? I know a couple of the names, but you're down there. Who would be the next man up?
Yeah, so it was Marcus Jones, who has been competitive, but you don't like him on the outside. That's where he ended up kicking out to. Alex Austin, who's been more of a spot starter for them. He's had some positive plays for sure. He's a bit of a playmaker. He's got that kind of instinct, but also some things he's got to clean up. But I will say it's not a position that's deep really outside of the starters. I think there's some guys that are competitive, but they don't have a lot of developmental depth, I would say. So it's definitely a question mark, and you're hoping that Christian Gonzalez and Carlton Davis are going to be all right.
All right, we'll talk about Taylor Kyle, CLNS, the wide receiver group. Do you think they'll carry 6 or 7 receivers? And, who is standing out? And the name that I'm hearing more and more is Pop Douglas, and maybe he'll be the featured player in this offense. Your thoughts on that, and who's standing out to you?
Yeah, DeMario Douglas is looking like wide receiver 1, in my opinion. He is quickly becoming Drake May's top target, kind of reminiscent, honestly, of Josh Downs, now with the Colts, but he was Drake May's wide receiver 1, his first year as a starter when they were at UNC together. And DeMario Douglas has always been able to get open. He's always had great hands. It was more of a consistency issue, and I asked him where he felt like he grew the most in year 3, and he said he thought he grew the most as a leader, where now he's trying to help the young guys learn what to do, and that's helping him because he's learning by helping teach those guys, and you're really seeing that, man. Like the Josh McDaniels system of putting guys in positions to get open, especially in the slot where you have the most space to exploit, he is fitting perfectly. So if you're playing fantasy football, especially PPR leagues, draft DeMario Douglas. But I do think they're going to spread the ball around. Like Stephon Diggs, obviously, hasn't been quite as impactful as I was hoping, but you pretty much know what he is when he's healthy. I think those guys are pretty much locks for the roster. Kyle Williams, your third-round pick. I will say the inconsistencies you'd expect from a rookie, but obviously he's a roster lock. You're hoping he's a one-on-one beater, brings some speed over the top and underneath. And then I think Kendrick Bourne makes the roster, and Kayshon Boutte, who's had his most consistent summer, is more of an outside receiver for them. He and Kyle Williams are kind of competing there. Jalen Polk was back for the first day. He hasn't really been there for the summer. Caught a touchdown. He was wide open, but it was good to see him at least out there and competing. Him and Javon Baker are really fighting for roster spots. Mac Hollins has yet to play, but they've made it known in the receiver room that they've been having Mac Hollins as kind of teach tape, running certain routes and blocking and things like that. So even if he's on an injury list to start, I don't know exactly what his situation is, but I expect him to make the roster in some capacity. And Efton Chisholm. Can't sleep on Efton Chisholm. So, yes, to answer your question, 6 or 7 receivers, probably 6 is pretty likely.
All right, I wanted to just ask you about the tight end position. I like what I saw. Jake Westover was a nice little college player at Washington. Got hurt last year, so I think that's why he's, available. What are you seeing from the tight end group? I know Hooper and Henry are the guys, but if they could develop a third guy there, is there anybody in that position that's kind of making some noise?
Yeah, I kind of droned on about the receivers. The tight end conversation is going to be quicker. Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper are one of the better duos in the NFL at tight end. Now, Hooper hasn't practiced yet, but again, when he's healthy, you know what he is. I wouldn't say anybody in the tight end room has really shown out necessarily. Even today, you're hoping that some of the blockers make an impact. Brock Lampy, who's a fullback, not necessarily a tight end, he did have a couple nice moments, and he could have a really important niche role. But Jack Westover hasn't made much of an impression to me, to be honest. G. Scott's had a couple of nice catches over the past, few days at training camp, but there's not a whole lot of depth at the tight end position, and I'm still waiting for somebody to really stand out.
All right, Taylor Kyle, CLNS. Oh, I wanted to do this exercise with you. I did it with Skaz as well. He brought up a name I didn't even have on my list, so I know you're there and you'll love this stuff, but can you rank the rookie contributors in order of who will have the biggest impact for the Patriots this year? I guess we can do 1 through 5. Who would be 1, who would be 5, and what rookies will make the biggest contributions for the Patriots this year?
I would say number 1 would be Will Campbell because hopefully he's never going to leave the field, obviously. Number 2 is Travion Henderson. I think he's going to have a really big role in this offense, both as a ball carrier and as a route runner. 3, I would probably say Jared Wilson because he's been in the rotation at center and left guard. You're hoping that he slots into one of those positions and plays a lot for you, but you're still not sure. 4, I would say Kyle Williams. He's still competing with Kayshon Boutte, like I said, but I think he's going to be someone they try to have a role for every week. And then the last spot, I would say Craig Woodson, the safety, because I think that's a really deep room, but he's a young guy who's got some playmaking ability, so I think he'll earn some playing time.
So that was my 5. That's what I had. So you and I see eye to eye, man.
You know ball, my friend.
Well, a little something. You're there. You're a reporter and you're a writer. I'm just a guy who sits here and just looks at things in a different light and tries to get calls and people reacting. And people do. I'm getting heat right now because I asked you.
What'd you do?
Well, I asked you if Christian Gonzalez was considered an injury-riddled player. And
man, I don't know, man.
It's not a take. It's not a take. It's a question. Because
you could do better. You could do better than that.
Oh, okay. He's played 20 games in 2 seasons. 20. How many games do they play a year now? Come on, man. How many games do they play a year now?
Dude, I'm not the one. Give me something better.
Hey, Scott.
I love you.
No, it's good. Listen, I love good pushback. I'm not going to be one of those guys like, that guy pushed back on me. No, I like that. This is what it is, Taylor. Like I got to take, you got to take, and we're gonna agree. That's how.
But I got ADHD. You got to stimulate me with the questions. Well, an injury prognostication. That's not me.
Well,
that's not
all
me.
right. How about another one?
Okay.
The Christian Gonzalez will be up for a contract next year. Will be eligible for a contract.
For sure.
There's $25 million, $30 million going around. Should the Patriots have some reservations of paying a player with the amount of games he's played in 2 seasons? How about that?
All right, that's a little more fair. Now, I will add the asterisk of, we have no idea what's going on right now, and I would like to know more. But assuming it's not something that impacts the rest of his season, he is the best cover corner in the NFL. He's got areas to grow for sure, but he's like an nth percentile athlete. I think you try to sign him to a new deal as quickly as possible. And if this team goes on the recent history where they try to lock guys up quickly and make them happy, I think that that's very much realistic.
Could the injury, if they did hold him out, bubble wrap, we both agree. Could this be a good time to maybe try to get something, I'm going to use the term Patriot deal, but try to get something on a controllable deal to give him a little bit more money up front instead of trying to match the Sauce Gardner and Stingley deals?
I think it's always smart to go with where your cap is telling you. If you don't have a lot of, and I'm not going to lie, I'm not up to date on the cap. Again, I'm a film guy. That's what Miguel Benzon is for. But I will say, you go with where your cap is telling you the money's at. So if they think that front-loading the deal is what's going to help them most with their cap health, then that's what I agree with. But if they think, hey, we can't give you as much up front, but I promise in year 2, once we have a little more space, then we're going to give you your money. I think it's just you debate in good faith and you try to find something that's fair because he is the kind of guy that can set the market at corner.
Skaz, you want to tell Taylor the rookie that you mentioned could make the biggest impact?
I didn't say biggest, but just in that 3 to 5 range. I think Borregales there, the kicker. Is he?
That's good, sneaky.
Is he going to be the starting
My
kicker?
bad. Well, honestly, I will say so. Parker Romo went 6 for 6 today. Borregales didn't get any attempts.
Not a good sign.
What's up with that?
I think maybe Borregales goes tomorrow. You want to ice the kid, see if he can, keep his head and perform tomorrow. But Parker Romo is not making it easy, honestly. He's had a good summer, and he wasn't, out of the competition in the spring. So Borregales is a good pick, but I will say do not sleep on Parker Romo.
All right. What I got from you today is that things were a little chippy today, meaning trash talk, something you haven't seen since you've covered the team, and Mike Vrabel's stamp is certainly stamped.
I didn't say chip talk. I didn't say that.
What'd you say?
I will actually say Kobe Minor and Jeremiah Webb. They're depth guys. They're third stringers. They got some dog in them because they were like grabbing face masks and they were showing something after the whistle. So I'm not saying it was a bunch of chip talk. I think it was, relatively mild for the first day in pads. But those two third stringers, one who's Mr. Irrelevant, they were getting into it. And you like to see that.
Yeah, he wasn't Vrabel talking about that, like he got in a fight his first practice to kind of set an example.
But he said he doesn't want to see anybody getting into fights.
Yeah, no, you know what? The one thing
he's reformed.
Maybe you like this because you've worked elsewhere, but like I love the fact that there's a lot of transparency. I think they tried to do that last year. It just you got a guy who really like stands by it, but I love that.
I like when it's functional.
Yes.
Like when you're functional and you're transparent because you understand the impact of what you say. That's my sweet spot. This has been my favorite year on the beat so far, and I'm hoping it stays that way. No drama. Minimal drama.
Yep, and they need it. They needed that in place here. I like it as from the media side because I think it's if we're getting it and he expects it from our side, I can only imagine what he expects from the players. Oh, I didn't ask you about this. Christian Wilkins, are they sniffing around? Vrabel said he'd have a conversation.
No.
Oh, huh?
Put Christian Wilkins into the old Twitter machine. That'll give you an idea of why I'm saying stay away.
Seen a couple of things, yeah. So maybe they would sniff around, but it'd be too stinky, too smelly. Maybe they don't want to touch that one.
You're a funny guy.
Oh no, I actually don't know. I actually don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. All I heard about was the supposedly toe or kissing thing or whatever.
I mean, he's got some proclivities that make people uncomfortable, we already had, we had one minor controversy that came and went. It was squashed immediately. I do not think Mike Vrabel is trying to introduce, controversy and headlines into a team that has been drama-free and very stable. So, no, I do not think that Christian Wilkins is a realistic possibility.
And by the way, smelly's just a thing I do on the show when something doesn't smell. So if I was hinting towards something I don't know about, oh man, that
I
really.
No, I was like, I don't know. You're very colorful with your words.
Oh no. No, it's just something I do when something doesn't look right. It doesn't look right. Like this gambling thing with the baseball right now. Like all those first pitches that were wild pitches. Now it was smelly to me. It means I might need to investigate it. Or when Terry Rozier went 0 for 11 in the Game 7 and it's in a gambling thing, that's smelly to me because I'm interested. So I guess I have to pop in the Twitter machine now.
You're speaking French on the baseball, but definitely check it on Twitter. Just stay up to date. It's different. Different.
We got your buddy Mike Cadlick. He's coming in studio tomorrow. Okay. Are you
going to prank him?
Nah. Yeah. Well, listen. I know him outside. I've known him before he got on the beat. So you
are going to prank him.
I'll probably do something to get him. But what's something like? Is he on a player? Is there a player that he always loved that never made the team? Like I got punked today about Bailey Zappi today because I was a Zappi guy.
Oh my god!
But was there a guy that he was ever on or liked?
He liked Mac Jones in a way that was not healthy.
Okay.
I think we all kind of like sipped the Mac Jones tea, but it got to the point where it was like, dude, my guy. So maybe give him some crap for that one.
All right. And you guys are still doing CLNS. I see you out there every day. Why don't you pump up your stuff?
Oh, yeah. So all my written work is at clnsmedia.com. For all the video stuff, that's really where we make our bread and butter. That is Patriots Press Pass on YouTube. And then, I do some stuff at Pat's Pulpit also. They do great content as well, so give them a check out as well.
You
Give
got
them
it.
a check out.
He's Taylor Kyles, everybody. CLNS. Let's give Pat's Pulpit a shout out as well. Taylor really gets into the breakdowns of the game. We like it. I actually have people asking me, hey, how come you don't have Taylor Kyles on the show? And I said, we do. So you have fans.
I'm here.
You have fans out there. All right, Taylor. Appreciate your time, man. Continue the great work. We'll catch up again during the season.
Thanks for having me, buddy. Take care.
You got it. He's Taylor Kyles. Everybody check out his work. CLNS, Pat's Pulpit as well, and really knows the layers of football. All right, we'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening to 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Essentials.
I do feel that the Christian Gonzalez contract situation is a franchise altering one for the Patriots. I do. I feel as though they have to show people they'll spend money. And why not spend money on the guys that you like? Now, I mention injury riddled not because it's Joe Murray's take. Because what do the Patriots think? Again, out of a possible, 34 games he's played in 20, right? Out of a possible 34 games, he's played in 20. So I ask you, is he injury riddled? It's not my take. It's what the Patriots might use against him. I think he's a top corner in the league, top 5, top 10 corner in the league. And you have to pay him like that. Because your quarterback's on a rookie deal and your left tackle's on a rookie deal, and you need to front him load the money now. Anything else to add to that, Skess? Pretty much said everything there, right?
I think you summed it up, Joe. I don't know much.
I know that people didn't like is he injury riddled, so I'm going to use the contract. Could the Patriots use the contract and the injuries against them? I say yes.
It would be a very Patriots thing of them to do.
If the Pats could get him on a 4-year extension for $90 million.
No. It's going to be more. Isn't that what Cortland Sutton just got?
4 and 90 is almost $30 million, isn't it?
I think Christian Gonzalez gets more than that.
Joe Math? 22 and a, oh yeah, that's $22.5 million. But it's right around the $25 million of the other guys. You get it? That's the Patriot deal. That's the Patriot deal. They front load the money until the Drake May stuff kicks in. You might have to go 4 and 100, huh, Skaz? 4 and 100, 50 up front.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Let's see. Derek Stingley got 48 fully guaranteed, $90 million, 30 a year. So I think you're looking at something in that 20. J.C. Horn got 25 a year. He got $46 million fully guaranteed.
Okay, would you rather Horn or Gonzalez? See, I think Horn's tougher. I think Gonzalez is a better corner. Stingley, I think, is better. Sauce and Gonzalez, I'd go either or. I think it's a wash. Do I think Gonzalez is a better cover corner? Probably. Do I think Sauce has the size and can transition later? Yes. They're all different, right? They're all different. But could they use this injury as, hey, man, you got a lot to think about. We got a lot to think about. Why don't we come together 4 and 100 right now? You'll get your $25 million, but we'll front load the deal while we're, I'm just wondering if they'll use it against him. But also, he gets the guaranteed money now, which might get him on the field faster. We got in or out. A lot of stuff from over the weekend. We'll do that next here on the Sports Hub.
What's it gonna be, McFly? Are you in or out?
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
Are you in or out? Gotta know without a doubt. I'm the one you need for a dirty deed. I'm the best. Success is guaranteed.
All right, Joe. Let's see. Where do we want to go here? Yes, Joe. I don't know if you toss this in Slack or I toss this in Slack, but WWE has a new partnership. One, Erin Andrews is teaming up with the WWE. Very limited details on what she'll be doing. I would imagine it's a, reporter-esque role. But Joe Murray, are you in or out on Erin Andrews in the WWE teaming up?
Well, there's no doubt about it. She is great at her job. She will be informative and ask good questions.
So it is a clothing line collection that they're doing ahead of SummerSlam. So maybe she has.
So it's a collaboration. Maybe like some of the wrestlers might wear her stuff to the ring, or
yes, apparently she has a new company wear by Erin Andrews.
But I think she'd have some sort of speaking role.
You would think.
Like maybe, hey guys, or everybody, welcome Erin Andrews, and maybe Joe Tessitore just interviews her real quick. So Tessitore is now one of the commentators. He's fantastic, by the way. I'm not a Pat McAfee hater. I do like the.
I am.
I know. I like the concept of the show. I like this type of format that we do at night. A guy in the studio with a couple of guys out there with their opinions.
You don't have a tank top on, though.
I will not wear a tank top. I won't stand on the desk either. And I'm not going to we're not going to have catchy lines. We have some catchy lines, but not like that. Bro lines. But I do think Erin Andrews is classy. I think she's very good at her job. And if they're promoting a clothing line, I think they'll get. If she's doing something with TKO and WWE, I think it will be done very well, so I'm in.
I'm with you there, Joe, I think. Another new residency at the Sphere was announced, Joe. You've already seen this. Yes, one Metallica is set to be the next residency at the Sphere. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Metallica at the Sphere?
Who would not like this?
John Saranides. He's got to go.
Okay, I've driven by the Sphere. I didn't go. It was a dead end company. You really couldn't pay me to go. No, for real. I went and got my I got my Undisputed by Mike Tyson. Had to go home.
I think there would have been a lot of Undisputed in the Sphere that night, Joe.
I wanted Sarge to come with me to the dispensary, but he declined. But I blame the elevations, guess, not the marijuana. But who? Think about it. Metallica, the Sphere? Tool, the Sphere? Led Zeppelin should get back together one night. Well, obviously, they need a new drummer, but and Metallica in Vegas is worth the trip. Plus, they live in San Francisco. They can stay in shape. They don't have to do with all the travel and everything. And
all right, Joe, Nintendo made some waves this weekend when they released a statement saying that Mario and Princess Peach are just good friends who help each other out whenever they can. Joe Murray, are you in or out on Mario and Peach being just good friends?
Why did that need to be distinguished?
I don't have the answers, Joe. I just have the questions.
And now I have to give an answer.
My job in or out is simply to come up with the questions. That's all I can give you.
Okay. So he doesn't have to help her then and fight all those people. And
I guess he's not legally obligated to, if that's what you're saying.
So he could be like, hey, Luigi, you go handle this one today. Or hey, Toad, Yoshi, one of you guys want to go handle that one? She just wants to be friends. I'm going to hang out here and eat a bowl of pasta and work on my plumbing job. Out. Listen, I want the love story. I want Luigi and Mario fighting over her. I want her to have a crush on Toad. I want Bowser in the mix. Give me Mario Kart Island, baby. Out on this. I don't want to know this. No. Out. No. No.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, Joe. Seems like Mario's been trying real hard. Maybe he's just stuck in the friend zone. That happens. Like they could.
No, who's a princess to put anybody in the friend zone?
She's a princess, Joe.
A princess? What? Of Peaches?
Of I don't know, something.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Where Toad lives, I think. Someone will correct us.
I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. I don't think that. Why did they do this? I know. Did you have something, Luke? You looked like you okay.
We're trying to get Luke to figure out the sideboard over there. He's pressing buttons. He's working away. We'll get him figured out.
I saw the red light turn on. I would like to know more about this someday. Let's bookmark that one.
We need a Nintendo expert.
We need who would know that?
Local Mario expert.
Do we have a local? I don't know why, but Jeremy came in my head.
Jeremy Conley did come to my head too. That he might have some insight into this.
Why did he just pop right in there?
Both of our heads. Yeah, I don't know, but he might be the guy.
Next.
All right, Joe. I have a feeling we'll do a longer segment on this at some point, but the Pro Football Hall of Fame 2026 candidates have come out. I'll give you a name. You give me in or out. Drew Brees.
In.
Larry Fitzgerald.
In.
Jason Witten.
No for right now. He will get in.
Frank Gore.
Oh, man. No.
Julian Edelman. Eddie Murphy's Pink Panther reboot.
I think I've seen everything Eddie Murphy has done since he's really come back. I watched that Beverly Hills Cop.
The Axel Foley one.
Loved it.
Yeah.
By the way, there's been a lot of remakes that have been done recently. That one was pretty decent. It was better than some of the others. Now, I did watch Coming to America. I enjoyed it. But was it good? Just like Happy Gilmore, which we'll get into. I enjoyed it. Was it good? I do think that the Axel Foley one was pretty decent. Now I'm looking at the Pro Football Hall of Fame monitor. These are people that potentially could be getting in. And the names that aren't in, Skaz: Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore. Literally, those are the two. Everybody's in. Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, LaDainian Tomlinson. The ones who aren't, and Marshall Faulk's in that list. Adrian Peterson, not. Frank Gore, not. You know who does come up, though? LaShawn McCoy. As a not, as a below average.
I think that's fair.
Marshawn Lynch also on that list. Sean Alexander and Tiki Baba also on that list. Damn.
Woof.
Just drop the Baba on you. Baba. All right, what was the Pink Panther Eddie Murphy in? What has he ever done a bad cartoon?
Well, Joe, I'm glad you asked because we have one more in or out for you. Eddie Murphy is going to do a solo donkey movie. Yes, the donkey from Shrek is getting its own movie.
In. Who doesn't love Donkey?
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Donkey? In. Oh, my God, Eddie Murphy's he's going to get paid.
Oh, he's getting paid. Good for Eddie. One of the funniest people ever.
He was like, man, in the 80s, I didn't make enough money. Now they're all coming out now. This is why we're getting remakes, man.
He's the best SNL cast member ever, right?
The one that he did. Oh, by the way, the Domingo.
You saw him in Happy Gilmore too, huh? Made a little appearance there. Marcelo
and Domingo. Oh, I love that. Now, I'm glad that made the movie because that really was one of the best parts. So when they did the Eddie Murphy with Will Ferrell and
was it Sudeikis there?
No, but who is the knuckle puck guy? He's been there forever. He was in the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, Keenan.
Yes. The three of them were trying to teach the guys about
a little Scared Straight,
yeah. And so Eddie was reading the lines, but the guys were laughing while he was like literally yelling at them. It was so funny. No, I've been in on the whole Eddie Murphy tour. Been in on. I've never seen him live. TV One. I've seen Dave Chappelle twice, and the only thing I don't like about Dave Chappelle is he's Dave Chappelle. Like, hey, I woke up this morning. I'm Dave Chappelle. Man, let me tell you, man, I went down to the store and I'm Dave Chappelle.
You're mad at Dave Chappelle for being Dave Chappelle?
He doesn't write a thing anymore. He doesn't write out jokes.
Well, when did you see him?
Saw him at Foxwoods during COVID.
Okay, yeah. I think I saw him right before that, maybe, like a couple of years before.
I mean, I laughed.
Yeah, no, he was great when I saw him.
I saw Chris Rock in like the early 2000s and literally fell on my seat. He's one of the best. You know who I love? You wouldn't put him up there? George Lopez is incredible comedian.
Well, he's not reading his own jokes, right?
That's what I'm saying. You would never... him on a stand-up? Holy smokes. And, again, years ago, when I was first a producer, Skaz, in the business, I worked for Steve Sweeney, who sometimes wouldn't remember my name, but that's fine. But I got to meet all those guys. Frankie Santorelli was Georgie on The Sopranos. Lenny Clark, who's a fan of the show.
Haven't heard from Lenny in a while.
I know.
You know?
He's hanging out with Zoe. All right, we got to go. Interrupt, baby! To the headline here.
From the Tell Your Time Studios, WBZ FM HD1. It's not just the games. It's Toucher and Hardy, Zolak and Bertrand, Felger and Matt.
is from Dedham. His cousin married one of my best friends, Chris. He's like the fantasy football guy who always calls in, guys. And so I've known Mike for years. I believe Mike was the quarterback at Dedham High School. And for those who know Mike Halleck and follow him on social, he loves pizza. But he loves lettuce on pizza. And I scold him for this. So tomorrow night, we're going to have a pizza party. But I think our guys down the street, Skaz, are closed on Tuesdays. And I'm upset about this. So now I gotta come up with a plan B.
You've been working on an audible. You've got an audible up your sleeve.
I've already got a plan because I work in Boston on Tuesday morning. So I have a plan. There's a certain place I want to go to. So I'm working it. Street Team Joe's coming in tomorrow night too. Fresh off his wedding that he didn't know he had until I said, "Hey, you're going to be available for this event?" So, yes, that should be funny. So, tomorrow night will be fun in games. Do we look up the Terry Rozier stuff? We got it, Luke?
Here for you, Joe.
All right, Luke, what do we got, buddy? So, what happened in game 1?
Yeah, I got games 1 through 7. Don't worry.
Here we go. Let's do it.
All right, game 1. You want just Terry Rozier?
Give me points in what his three-pointers were.
All right, 8 points, 0 of 3 from 3 in game 1. Celtics won 108-83.
8 points in game 1.
8 points in game 1. He was a plus 14.
Okay.
Game 2, 18 points, 2 of 8 from 3.
Ooh, so he had an 18-point game for Terry Rozier is good.
7 of 16 from the field. So not the most efficient game, but you can also do worse.
Okay, what was he from 3 in game 1?
Game 1, he was 0 of 3 from 3.
Okay, so 0 for 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Game 2, he was for 3?
Game 2 from 3, Terry Rozier is 2 of 8.
2 of 8. Okay.
Game 3, Celtics are up 2-0, by the way.
Yep.
And
so
in
2-0 lead in the series. Correct.
Yep. Game 3 in Cleveland, Terry Rozier, 13 points, 1 of 4 from 3.
Okay.
Game 4, 16 points, 3 of 9 from 3.
16 points, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Game 5, 8 points, 1 of 7 from 3.
I think he had a monster game 6, right?
No? 28 points, 6 of
go.
10 from 3.
So, yeah, here he is, coming off of a 28-point game. What was he from 3 again in that game?
In game 6?
Yeah.
6 of 10.
With 28 points.
And they lost by 10.
And he was 6 of 10 from 3?
6 of 10 from 3, 10 of 16 from the field.
And then one more time, game 7?
Game 7, Terry Rozier he had 4 points, 0 of 10 from 3, 2 of 14 from the field.
Guys, tell me that's not smelly. Just tell me it's not.
I mean, he had a game early in the series where he was 2 of 8 from 3.
He had 8 points?
Look, if you want to say Terry
I'm not
Rozier's
hurting myself
smelly,
reaching on this one, guys.
I don't know, Joe. It's
in game 1, Joe, he had 8 points on 10 shots. That's not good.
Yeah.
But what about the 28 points before?
He was inefficient the whole series, though, and it was 7 years ago. And he was a young player in a game 7 in the playoffs.
Finally caught up to him.
Yeah, or, things change in 7 years, and maybe now he's smelly.
Oh, okay.
I think if we're doing box score breakdowns from 7 years ago with just about any player, I mean, look at some of Jimmy Butler's stat lines in the playoffs.
Not great.
Not great.
James Harden.
Yeah, James, you want to talk about a guy in the playoffs, James Harden.
Just none of those guys have been implicated for.
Not yet.
Yeah, you're right. Dude, okay, this is a discussion. The Ohtani thing got brushed under the rug. Let's just say what it is.
You don't think it was just his translator, Joe, and he had no he had no awareness at all of what was going on?
It's hard for me to believe, Skaz, but it's weird, but I believed it. You know how it's so crazy you couldn't believe it?
Weird how MLB really they moved swiftly.
No, that thing was dust busted.
Oh, man.
There was no broom involved. That thing was scrub a dub car wash.
A magic eraser on that thing.
Literally, Mr. Clean. So yes, do I believe it at the time, Skaz? I just went with it.
Just go with it.
I just went with it. Yep, okay. Yep, he's clean. Uh-huh. I'm waiting. The jury is out. But these other guys, though.
Jonte Porter was maybe the worst of them all.
He was tweeting it out,
He
bro.
was, yeah. I mean, it was
that was
hook, line, and sinker.
He's done.
You're cooked.
He's done. And now we don't know what's going on with the dude from the Pistons, right? Who's the guy was the runner-up.
Oh,
for the
yeah.
Sixth Man of the
Apparently,
Year.
he's in quite a bit of debt. Allegedly,
Financial help. Yeah, big time. His next contract's really on the line. What you got, Luke?
Malik Beasley, yeah.
Yeah, Malik Beasley. There you go. That's the name. Pretty good player, right?
Very good player.
Is he still a free agent, technically?
I don't. I think the Pistons were about to offer him a contract extension, and then that came out, and they were like, "Not so fast." Hold on a minute there.
You ever heard that line? Hold the phone. You ever heard that line before?
Oh yeah,
Luke.
Hold the phone. He's about to hold the phone.
He's about to hold the phone. All right, I wanted to read this article real quick from Dan Shaughnessy of the Globe. Old people think things were better in the old days. He leads off with. Young people like the way things are. It's a natural order of life. The Baseball Hall of Fame's inductions weekend brought this point home as I prowled the inner sanctum of the Hall's plaque gallery, plus the hotel. He goes, those hardball legends had quarrels with the way the game was being played at the time. Crusty old-timers always insist things were better in their day. All that said, the current version of this universal push-pull is truly different. In the summer of 2025, baseball is largely unrecognizable to old-time greats. And even worse, today's Hall of Famers increasingly feel estranged from the people who run the game. Analytics and new methods of teaching have removed the endearing layer of the tutelage that's always connected to the sport. So right now, we're hearing this. We heard this from David Ortiz, right? David Ortiz, Hall of Famer. Dude, I saw today that Pedro Martinez's number was retired 10 years ago. But you know what Pedro does? He works with Brian Bayo. Is Brian Bayo's changeup improving? I think it is. So all I'm trying to say is you might want to listen to somebody, right? The old-timers, or I shouldn't say the old-timers, the Hall of Famers feel estranged by people who run the game?
Yeah, there's too many nerds, Joe. There's too many nerds in the front offices. That's my takeaway.
Analytics and new methods of teaching have removed the endearing layer of tutelage. Throughout the decades, young players sought help from old-timers. 20-year-old Ted Williams thought he could learn from Cobb and Rogers Hornsby. Yaz thought he could learn from Ted. Jim Rice thought he could learn from Yaz.
And the Red Sox think nobody can learn from Jim Rice.
Few players are encouraged to learn from those who came before. We're all Mr. Irrelevant now, said Jim Cott, Hall of Fame catcher. 16 Gold Gloves. Imagine not listening to Jim Cott.
How's that even possible? Think about somebody getting 16 Gold Gloves nowadays.
By the way, a catcher is the favorite to win the MVP this year. Just to throw that out there at the moment because of Judge's injury.
And it would be, you mentioned the injury. Obviously, I want Judge playing. It's better for baseball. But it would be, from a Red Sox perspective, very funny if he breaks Aaron Judge's American League home run record like 2 years after he does it. And they did the whole Roger Maris dog, and pony show there for weeks.
Mm-hmm. He goes on to say in this, baseball owners and front offices have embraced new methods. There's little use for fundamentals, taking infield, batting off tees, slow toss, pepper, pitchers running into the strengthening legs, bunting, moving the runner over, or learning to pitch as opposed to throwing 100 miles per hour. It's all about spin rates, launch angles, and exit philosophies. There were 52 returning Hall of Famers on the stage Sunday, including Sandy Koufax and Juan Marichal. They dueled out times in the 60s. They survive. They're like surviving the Beatles, Rolling Stones, and the men who walked on the moon. They know things no one else in the world knows, said Shaughnessy. But in casual chats with dozens over the weekend, I kept hearing about new distance they feel from the game they mastered without even asking. When I came up to 79-year-old Rod Carew in the lobby, he had one question for me and two other veteran scribes. What do you think of the baseball that is being played today? They delivered those answers to a man who hit 388 in 1977.
This is peak Shaughnessy. This is peak Shaughnessy, right? I'm loving it.
Too many strikeouts, Too many pitchers trying to throw 100 pitchers throwing instead of pitching. No bunting. Difficulty advancing runners over to third. Few batters changing their approach to strikes. A few young players tipping their minds to older stars. Used to be pretty darn good. And, of course, we all know about the dust-up this spring training, right? When a young driveline genius discouraged Jim Rice, still invited to spring training as a special advisor, from helping a prospect in the cages at JetBlue Park. Quote from Jim Rice, I love this. I was minding my own business, having a cup of coffee, and a young kid came out of the cage and asked about loading in his front foot. Rice recalled Saturday as he stood under the statue of Ruth and Williams.
Wax poetic. Come on.
He goes, I don't know him. He was a catcher. I talked to him about loading up and how to hit line drives. And while we were talking, one of the instructors came over and said, that's not how we teach it. I said, did you play? He said, I played Division I college. He goes on to say, here's the thing. These instructors want them to hit everything in the air. I tried to hit line drives. I think line drives are a way to go. Ball doesn't need to go 500 feet. If you hit a 2-run homer and it goes 500 feet, you don't get extra runs for the extra 100 feet. And just thinking about this, he said Eddie Murray says he tries to talk to young hitters about all the motion they have, loading up at the plate to swing for the fence. I think a lot of that exposes them because they have more trouble getting out of the way of the ball thrown up, but they don't want to listen. This is real, Skaz. This is the problem with the game. I think that these Hall of Famers do feel estranged. Analytics is taking over. There's no doubt about it. I just wanted to bring up, do you think steroids had anything to do with it? Like, do you think the young kids nowadays were, like Skaz, for me, 1998 was one of the biggest years of my life. Like that home run.
McGuire, so.
That home run, but even Barry Bonds.
Yeah.
Like, it was just, and no, let's not forget, like the 03 Red Sox to 2013 were incredible teams. I know they went from worst to first, 12 to 13, but like, that might have been the best era of baseball for the Red Sox ever, right? They won, 3 championships and another in 2018? All I'm saying is that summer of 1998, like, Tony Gwynn's one of the greatest hitters of all time. They were great. Barry Bonds, to me, is one of the best baseball players I've ever seen in my life. Ken Griffey Jr., Mark McGwire. There's a murderer's row of star players. I think eventually Albert Pujols came along and was great, right? Like there are guys that became great, but are they now tuning the guys out because maybe they thought it was all enhanced?
I think it's a really good point because, if you're a young player, you're going to be like, well, why should I listen to these guys? They were cheating. Like, I can't do what they did. They were on performance-enhancing drugs. But I think it's more on the front offices. I think it has less to do with the players and more to do with organizational philosophies and the higher-ups. Yeah, ownerships. All the front offices, like, everything has become... They're not baseball teams anymore. They're businesses, and I get it. It's been that way for a long time. A lot of these sports teams became businesses years ago, but there still is something in a lot of them, some of them, where, they have a team thing, like Buster Posey running the Giants. I like that. I like having, a guy that won 3 World Series and now I know he's getting crushed by Nesson for the Devers trade. Very convenient in that one, but I think those guys should be more involved, not less involved. And I think that's the overall point of Shaughnessy's article, is that we should not be turning over everything in the organizations to the nerds from Yale and Princeton that look at the spreadsheets, and you should have guys like Buster Posey, your Jim Rice's, Dennis Eckersley, like guys like that should be around the team, more. At least that's how I feel about it.
One thing I did want to point out of this story, we all used to get on Bobby Valentine. I am convinced that was a Larry Lucchino move, and they thought it would work, and that was a group of players that had a lot of pride that just didn't want to talk to a guy who wasn't really in the trenches for a while. Bobby Valentine at that point was a talking head, And he did really know the game because he spent a lot of time in Japan. And where I'm going with this is Bobby Valentine was a guest of Ichiro. And he recalls telling the Mets, you guys have to sign Ichiro. But they said he was too expensive for a singles hitter. Valentine goes, yeah, but it will be a lot of singles. I told him he was one of the 5 best players in the world. And Ichiro he knew Valentine felt that way about him. It might be fair to say that Ichiro might have been at one point one of the top 5 baseball players in the world.
I don't think that's a reach at all. I think
he was a tremendous outfielder.
Yeah, he had a cannon for an arm too.
He could hit a home run whenever he wanted to, but he was such a disciplined hitter. And you know what? He could run, Skaz. He could play. That guy had 3,000 hits, and I don't even know what he did in Japan. He had some really good one-liners, though, huh?
And funny guy. When you mentioned Bobby Valentine, I remember when he was on the Mariners and he snuck into the dugout with the glasses and the mustache.
That was the Mets, but still,
No, I'm saying Ichiro did it.
Ichiro. Oh, that's right. That's right. To honor him.
Yeah. Take a shot at him.
But isn't that funny
that's
that
how close they were?
People crap on Valentine, but yet Ichiro, a Hall of Famer, one of the best players of all time, had a relationship with a guy like that who never used analytics, but people thought he was a little out there.
He was also never Ichiro's manager, though. Sure. So I think, it's easier to have a relationship with someone when you're not working directly for them. I think in a lot of cases where if Bobby Valentine was doing what he did to Pedroia with Ichiro, where he's getting in right field and, showing him how to, take fly balls, I think Ichiro might feel a little differently.
The other things he added in the story with the AI scams that were going on, Wade Boggs, I guess, got into one recently. I guess so. There was no Ortiz, Piazza, or Pudge Rodriguez this weekend. No Yaz. Raleigh Fingers was there. John Smoltz was not there. He covered the Red Sox game. But for a class Ichiro, we could do this another day, guys. I would love to do CC Sabathia versus Kurt Schilling. I would love to.
I'd rather have CC.
I know.
I think without looking at the numbers,
I would just love to
sit
back one day and
I think CC is a better pitcher. Just first instinct, first reaction.
I don't think that you can take away the fact that he was a left-handed pitcher. It's probably what wins the argument.
Did you hear Smoltz last night at all on the broadcast? Was he on
the game? Was it Saturday? Was
he maybe it was the Fox Saturday game?
Yeah.
He talked about when he was on the Red Sox.
Oh yeah,
and he was like, "Not good. We don't have to talk about that."
So, dude, I was working in radio at the time when we got him on, and he was just like so upset with his performance. And they did him a solid. They released him. He went to the Cardinals and had a little bit of a run. I think he pitched a playoff game. The Red Sox got Steve Avery and John Smoltz, but yet Tom Glavine was from here.
They used to bring in guys like that all the time, though. Eric Gagne they brought in.
Yeah, Burkett was another guy on those Braves teams from years ago. They brought in. Who's the guy who bought a duck boat?
Jake Peavy.
I loved him.
He was good, very solid.
He was for a long time. He was a really good pitcher.
I think he's involved with the Giants now too. I think.
Oh, interesting. Well, anyways, Brian's in the truck. Brian.
All right, Joe. I got a conspiracy theory for you.
Let's do it.
All right, Pete Rose, out of nowhere, gets put on the ballot. This all kind of changed. There was a meeting with Donald Trump and the baseball commissioner, and all of a sudden he's just put on the vote on the ballot to be voted in after obviously not even being eligible forever. So my conspiracy theory is that Trump had Shohei dead to rights in this gambling thing, and for the MLB to not get involved or not to be released. I think Trump wanted Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
All right, thanks. Is that political, Skuz?
What isn't these days, Joe? What isn't?
I know, but I just don't want to comment. Because It's a conspiracy, sure.
Yeah, I don't think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
Sure.
I think if you bet on your sport, you shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I think it's pretty simple.
Do you think the younger players of this generation, remember how I asked about maybe the enhancement? How do you think the younger players feel about Pete Rose? That probably would have been a really...
I bet you they don't feel... do you think they even care?
I might hit up Shaughnessy about this. Hey, did they care about this? You might be right. Right? I mean, now we're getting betting scandals. Now we know guys bet. Guys, now we know baseball players are betting and can manipulate the first pitch. So, I mean, I think it's stupid if you do it, considering you get guaranteed money. Idiots. You won the lottery the second you sign a contract. You idiots. Oh, my God. We're late. We got to get to the headline. Wait, do we have to get to the headline? I'm Joe Murray.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
I get mad when people sign guaranteed contracts and blow them. Here, Joe, here's $10 million for the next 50 years. Thank you. And again, you would see me with that little drink in my hand with the umbrella. on to Sports Hub. We'll do the Musings after the break here. Musings will be Happy Gilmore themed. Red Sox and Twins tied at 3 right now. So we'll keep you posted on anything. Brandon Bernardino's coming into the game again. How many appearances does he have this year? Too many, right?
He's got to be the hardest working guy in Boston right now this summer.
What's he make?
Not enough.
Nothing.
His arm's going to fall off.
Just wanted to share some sad news out of Major League Baseball. Ryan Sandberg has passed away. The Cubs legend passed away today. Very young. Why am I forgetting his age?
65.
65 years old. Now, Skaz, Ryan Sandberg, and so he was, before Craig Biggio and Roberto Alomar, was, to me, the best second baseman in baseball. He was the 1984 MVP for the Cubs. Just to give you some stats, I mean, he was an absolute Hall of Fame player, but some question where he might rank because he only had 275 home runs. He had 1,000 RBIs, which is fantastic, right? The only other second baseman to have those type of numbers, Joe Morgan, who played for the Big Red Machine, and Jeff Kent. So, and I'm just looking. So I looked up MVPs. So as far as MVP awards go, Joe Morgan won 2 MVPs at second base. Ryan Sandberg had 1. Dustin Pedroia had 1. I just wanted to match up. Very sad to hear about Ryan Sandberg. He was a great player, a great Chicago Cub. Great second baseman. And won an MVP, certainly deserved it. I'm just thinking about him being in the Hall of Fame. And I wanted to compare it maybe to Pedroia.
Not in the same class.
You're right. Ryan Sandberg had 2,200 hits. Pedroia had 1,800. Now, Sandberg played 400 more games, which is what, 2.5 seasons?
Yeah.
So, and as far as home runs go, Pedroia had 140. Sandberg had.
Dustin Pedroia is not a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think.
So I think the question should be, when it comes to the Hall of Fame, like Jeff Kent isn't in there. Do you think he is?
I'd have to look at his numbers, but off the top of my head, I'd lean no.
Mm-hmm. So, like, of my era at least, Roberto Alomar, Craig Biggio.
I didn't think Craig Biggio was a Hall of Famer. I know he has, 3,000 hits, but 2,900 of them are slap singles. That does nothing for me.
Mm-hmm. Rod Carew at 3,000 hits. Eddie Collins at 3,000 hits. I'm just trying to keep it a little bit more low, but Joe Morgan, 2,500 hits. Ryan Sandberg was one of the, and I'm just looking at home runs right now. Biggio at 291. Bobby Dorr at 223. Hornsby at 300. Joe Morgan, 268. Sandberg, 282.
Yeah, I mean, if you just want to look at, take home runs out of it, Pedroia was an all-star 4 times and won 4 Gold Gloves. Ryan Sandberg was an all-star 10 times and won 9 Gold Gloves. So different. He was a 7-time Silver Slugger Award winner, led the National League in home runs one year, won an MVP, as you mentioned. So, yeah, to me, not even in the same class.
So Jeff Kent had 354 home runs and is not in the Hall. He's not in the Hall of Fame, right? I don't believe he is. I'm just former baseball, played 17 seasons. Yeah, not a Hall of Famer. Jeff, I wonder if there's a reason to keep him out.
I know that people do not like him. I know that he has a bad reputation around the league, but that hasn't stopped other people from getting into the Hall of Fame.
But to me, Ryan Sandberg was that power hitter, at least that I remembered as a second baseman. Biggio obviously could play multiple positions. He had 290 home runs. And Jose Altuve, Skaz, has over 230 home runs. I wonder if he's going to get consideration. He's got 2,300 hits. I don't have his batting average.
Quick
won an MVP too.
A quick Google search says that Jeff Kent's attitude is the reason he's not in the Hall of Fame. That's what happens when sports writers
has
decide.
nothing to do with playing with Barry Bonds in a Star-Era, right?
Well, I'm sure that helps, or it hurts depending on how you look at it.
Wonder if they're using that against him.
I mean,
wow.
Yeah, was a steroid error.
Was analytics involved in that?
That's above my pay grade.
Was it Driveline? I'm just curious. Listen, I didn't love Jeff Kent, but he was a hell of a baseball player. Wow. Ryan Sandberg passed away.
I mean, we got this weekend, but Dwight Evans should be in the Hall of Fame. Like that was, they were talking about on the broadcast, but you saw Mookie and him hugging,
He's got to get on the Veterans Committee. I also think...
he had the most home runs of a decade, right? Is that correct? I think they said that on the broadcast. He had the most home runs in the 80s, I believe. I feel like anybody that hits the most home runs in a decade of baseball should be a Hall of Famer. I'll double check that, but I'm pretty sure they mentioned that numerous times on the broadcast.
So it was Mike Schmidt at 313, Dale Murphy, Eddie Murray, Dwight Evans had 256 home runs from 80 to 89. But Mike Schmidt's in the Hall of Fame. I believe Dale Murphy got Eddie Murray's in. Yeah, you're right. Dwight Evans. All those guys are in. I'll see if I can get any more of that because Jim Rice had to be on that list too. Yeah, Andre Dawson's in. He was in that list. Former Cub as well.
Dale Murphy not in the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah, that's my bad.
Never received more than 23%
You know
of the
what?
vote.
That's one that stings. I shouldn't have said he made the Hall. No, he's one of the big time snubs. I honestly think he should be in.
I guess he stunk after he turned 31.
Yeah, once
and they
he
hold
went
that.
down, he went
yeah,
down.
they hold
Yeah.
it against him.
Man, there's a lot of guys here that had a lot of home runs in the 80s. Tony Armas, too. Lance Parrish, a catcher. Jack Clark. All were once on... Well, he was once on there. Darryl Strawberry. Jim Rice had 210. Go figure. One's a Hall of Famer, one's not. All right, we get the Musings next here on the Sports Hub.
More Joe Murray coming up on the Sports Hub.
You want a random take? Murray's got all sorts on stuff in the world unrelated to sports. So sit back, relax, and get your mind in the game and listen to the words of a grown man complaining.
All right, Murray's Musings here on the Sports Hub. 3-3 game, Red Sox right now, top of the 8th. We got you covered here. In the meantime, let's just get into the musings. Tonight is July 28th, so we're coming up on August 1st. Did want to mention July 28th. It was actually July 27th, but that was the day that Reggie Lewis passed away. It was very impactful to my life. 1993. Skaz, it literally happened less than a mile from where we're standing. Brandeis University, that's where they practiced years ago. He was dribbling a basketball. He was going to get a third opinion on his heart condition. And they didn't hear the ball dribbling anymore. And he passed away. It was devastating. He did so much for the city of Boston. At times when I see what Jaylen Brown is doing, it reminds me of what Reggie Lewis did. Reggie Lewis came to the Hyde Park YMCA. When he passed, they made the Reggie Lewis Center. I used to play basketball at the Reggie Lewis Center. He was a great player because he went to school here, played college basketball here, was a star, played with Larry Bird, became an all-star, like Michael Jordan put him over. And it's just the loss of him, and Len Bias years before that. I just want to make this about Reggie, but he was an all-star, a real all-star. He was 27 years old, and his death was altering, legitimately franchise altering for the Celtics. So I wanted to just make mention of that. That happened in 1993. So anyways, on a better note, I watched Happy Gilmore 2 over the weekend. Everybody had an opinion about this thing, man. I did a big card show at Polar Park this week. Thanks for everybody who came by. Have you seen Happy Gilmore 2? Hey, have you seen Happy Gilmore 2? Have you seen Happy Gilmore 2? No. Do we miss anything?
They had like Eric Andre and Margaret Qualley when they were like golfing with one of the Please Don't Destroy guys when they like went out to the golf course. And then you got your guy Marcelo, Joe, too. So there was some SNL involved.
Oh.
Probably, right?
Yeah.
She was working at, what was it, like the fake Dick's Sporting Goods, or might even have been a Dick's Sporting Goods because it was, everything sponsored.
Did you see Sydney Sweeney? I didn't see Sydney.
I didn't see, no.
I thought she was supposed to be in it.
Big Julie Bowen guy, though.
Oh, yeah.
Thought she was great.
Yeah, that was actually great.
Harry Kane's birthday today.
Harry Kane. Okay.
Soldier Boy.
Oh, crank that.
It is Ayla Brown's birthday today.
Oh, I don't know if Ayla was our colleague here.
Yes.
I met her actually when she was playing at. I'll see her in a couple of weeks. But she was a great basketball player at BC, and she was on American Idol. And was like a star.
That's probably why her name's on the website.
Yeah, but she was a star on American Idol, and then one of my first radio shows, she was one of the first people. I didn't know I was going to be interviewing somebody that was on American Idol. I knew who her dad was, and that's how it happened. But yeah, one of my first interviews at 1510, Ayla Brown in studio, and now we used to work together. And we're doing an event together in a couple of weeks. So, see her there. How old? It doesn't matter. Who's next?
Let's see. D'Amico Ryans' birthday today.
Head coach.
It is Hannah Waddingham's birthday today, if you're familiar with Ted Lasso or Game of Thrones.
No, Game of Thrones.
She's the tall blonde woman. Not Brienne of Tarth.
Khaleesi?
No. But you would know her if you saw her.
She was not the prince. Not. Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think she's who you're thinking of.
Okay.
A lot of birthdays today, Joe. A lot of birthdays today. Ray Shiro. Terry Fox, legendary Canadian distance runner, the Marathon of Hope there. His birthday today. Doug Collins, local guy.
Nice. Coached Michael Jordan.
Vita Blue's birthday today.
Vida. Yep.
Vida, my apologies.
It's okay. Dan would get you on that
No,
one.
I'm sure he would. Oh, boy. I'm surprised he wasn't name dropped in that article. Bill Bradley.
Oh, Christian Barmore.
His birthday today.
Happy birthday to Christian Barmore today.
Local guy.
Can't forget that one.
That's about it, Joe, I think. Unless we're going in the way, way back machine. Jackie Kennedy Onassis, birthday today.
Oh, bringing up more Kennedy stuff.
It's
Can't get away from it this
slippery
summer.
slope.
I told you about Skaz? Not Skaz. Leroy.
Yes.
I was thinking of the other guy I work with.
The Kennedys. Yeah.
He thinks, yes. Yeah, he's.
I'm Team Leroy always.
I told you when we were in church, we used to get fans. And the fans had Martin Luther King, JFK, and Robert Kennedy because he just passed. And that was what we had in church. Can I get an amen? All right, there is the musings for tonight. We'll take a quick break. The Red Sox are on. Ooh, they're threatening. We'll tell you what happens next on the Sports Hub.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the way on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Hey, it's Maz for Rodenheiser, and if you need more space at home, an ADU, that's an accessory dwelling unit, could be the answer. Rodenheiser Home Services builds custom ADUs designed around your life that add function and value to your property. From
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Up. We're here until 11 o'clock tonight. We're going to do a ton of football tomorrow. Mike Cadlick from CLNS will be in studio. We're going to have a pizza party. It's going to be fun. So we have an update in the Red Sox game. And Luke Fitzpatrick, our intern, is in studio. Hi, Luke. Turn your mic on.
Hey, Joe. How we doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good, sir. Thank you for having me on.
Are you full?
I am full, yeah.
Good. What do you like about the show, and what don't you like about the show?
What do I like and not like about the show? I like...
Oh, go ahead. I was doing talk back to him.
I like how involved everything is. I like how we touch on a little bit of everything. Things that I can't really, like, off the top of my head think, like, damn, I really don't like this aspect of the show.
So what would you improve on?
What would I like?
Yeah, I'm open to it. I'm not offended to anything.
You mean personally or the show?
Well, everything.
Put me on the spot here. I can't say I have like one thing.
What about you, Skaz?
I think Luke's done a tremendous job.
Thank you, Skaz. I appreciate it.
Went down to training camp last week.
Yeah. Should we get an update on that?
Apparently, it was a very slow day on Friday at training camp.
What did you learn at Patriots training camp?
It was a very quick practice that day. It was only a 45-minute practice, but
so you were there for an hour?
No, I was there for the whole day with the morning show.
Oh, so tell us about that. Who were you with?
I was hanging around. I was with Jim. I was with Alex Barth.
Jim Louth, Alex Barth.
Jim Louth, Alex
Barth. They love football.
Mark. His last name is slipping my mind.
Bertrand?
Well, yeah, yes, Mark Bertrand.
Mark Capello.
Mark Capello, correct.
Okay, most people know him as Capello.
Capello, correct.
Correct. Yeah.
Hanging out with Zoe. I got to meet Bob.
Scott Zolak?
Yes, correct.
Bob Socci?
Bob Socci could not have been nicer.
Did you know that he used to call Pawtucket Red Sox games back in the day?
I did not know that.
And then he did Navy football and then became the voice of the New England Patriots.
Bob Socci could not have been nicer. Great guy.
I don't think I could. I think he's probably one of the nicest men that we work with.
Yeah. I learned, I guess I wouldn't say this is like something completely unexpected, but it was just interesting being in the environment of just how strict everything is in regards to media. Like there were only certain like, what are they called, sessions or sections that you can take photos in. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, just because of they work on certain things.
Yeah,
they don't want it leaked because of game plans and stuff like that. But you're right. Yeah, there's
yeah, you can't take photos of the players and their family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Were you on the field?
Wouldn't say it was shocking. What's that?
Were you on the field?
Yeah, I was in like the media section.
Who was
of the
the
field,
biggest guy you saw there?
Jabril Peppers, for sure. Jabril Peppers is a specimen.
Okay. Who was the fattest guy you saw there?
I wasn't really taking a look at either one of the lines.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Okay. You never answered that. So you just passed the test.
Yeah.
No, for real. You never want to answer that question.
Okay. I didn't have one. I didn't have
Good.
I genuinely didn't have an answer.
No, I put you on the spot.
Okay.
I've learned that one a long time.
They just call Roman Anthony safe there. They go to the review.
Yes. So why don't you update everybody on what happened, how the Red Sox now have a 4-3 lead?
So it's slipping. I believe it was it Toro who took a leadoff walk?
Toro. So it was a leadoff walk. Then they
was it Toro?
Well, let's.
Yeah, I know. David Hamilton pinch ran, stole second base, stole third base, and then Roman Anthony drove him in with a single. So it's 4-3 right now. Top of the ninth inning, Johan Duran versus Trevor Story.
So Toro walked. They pinch ran Hamilton. Hamilton stole second and then stole third.
As I just said.
And then who got the big hit,
Roman
as you
Anthony.
said? And earlier I criticized or questioned, I shouldn't say criticized, questioned him batting leadoff.
I'm a fan of it because let me put it this way for you,
tonight.
Joe. Let me put it this way for you, Joe. Shohei Ohtani and Kyle Schwarber, two of the best left-handed hitters in baseball. Where do they hit in the order?
Leadoff.
They hit leadoff. It doesn't really make it's non-traditional.
Let me just ask you this.
Yeah.
Let's agree that it's working because it is.
Tonight, well, I mean, one game sample size, but sure.
Yesterday too.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't hit leadoff yesterday, did he?
Yeah, he did. I had to look it up. That's why I questioned
it. There you go. It worked yesterday too.
I like the fact that teams have to face lefty, righty, and I don't know who's going to be third. Maybe Duran. That's who it is tonight.
Yeah, probably Roman, Bregman, Duran.
Okay.
Unless they trade
I
Duran.
prefer a speed guy as a leadoff hitter.
That's more traditional.
It's traditional, but the game isn't traditional
Roman,
anymore.
I would argue Roman can run. Nobody would describe him as a speed guy. Like he's not a speed first.
Why is Duran not a leadoff guy?
I think that's far more traditional. Yes, I agree.
So is him batting third better for the? I mean,
I don't know
if he wasn't thrown.
We have a 2-game sample size.
But I mean, if Anthony wasn't thrown out, he would have had an RBI double.
I mean, shouldn't Trey Turner be the leadoff guy for the Phillies?
I don't know. Is it working?
Clearly, what they're doing is working. But in the world that you're describing, which is more traditional, Trey Turner would be the leadoff guy. Schwarber would hit third or fourth.
Who was an I'm trying to think of leadoff hitters that were traditional.
I mean, Shohei Ohtani?
Schwarber was.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I get what you mean now, but Red Sox-wise, like Nomar probably wasn't a leadoff hitter.
Before my time.
But they moved him to third.
Yeah. It was always Mookie.
Mookie was, but he should have. But they always moved him around.
Yeah.
He should have been the leadoff hitter every time. You're right.
I think they had Benintendi
that's probably that's probably Benintendi should have been the 2-hitter at the time.
Yep.
But you're right. Mookie probably was.
Kike Hernandez up there, didn't they?
He could, but he's more about bottom of the lineup
but they
guy.
put him there. They put him there.
Yeah. I'm just thinking
This
of
team put Nate Eaton in the leadoff spot, Joe.
Yeah, I know. I know. I guess I'm gonna go with it because I have nothing to go against it.
2-game sample size. Roman Anthony in the leadoff spot has worked. What delay?
What if you? Oh God, great. Well, now Hicks. We gotta wait.
Is gonna sit with his thoughts for a while.
Now it's a 4. Ooh, they could call the game, couldn't they?
Let's just call the game right now.
Remember when they
inning has to be completed, right?
Remember when they used to have a dome?
Yeah, I do.
Well before my time. But that was okay. But that was
that could have really come in handy right now, huh? Really taking you back. Have you ever seen the movie Little Big League?
I don't believe so. I'm not.
Let's do
one
this.
thing about me. I'm not a huge movie guy.
I know, and Tyler Milliken isn't either. So let's just play the game.
Okay, let's play a game.
And then you're going to give us a headline.
That's correct.
And just remember, the Red Sox are in a rain delay right now, so you might want to mention that in the headline.
Thanks, Joe.
Because I know that I'm throwing you off right now. This is the point. I'm trying to.
Actually, continue.
Okay. Do you have a question?
No.
Okay.
No, I didn't have a question. Go on.
How would you rank the top 3 priorities for the Red Sox at the deadline?
At the deadline, I think number 1 is you've got to get a starter. I think that, and I don't know that they will, because as we saw with Dylan Cease, the Padres came to the Red Sox and had an offer for Dylan Cease that if he were under longer term control, I think the Red Sox ask where they can sign in blood with that deal. But he's a rental.
Sign in blood, dude, huh? That's real gory.
Well, I think Craig Breslow would do it.
Did you ever watch like Game of Thrones or any of that stuff?
No. I do like horror movies.
You do? What's your favorite?
Favorite horror movie? Probably Hereditary. You ever seen Hereditary?
No.
Hereditary is good. That's a real blood. I'm not like. It's not like the blood that gets it, but that is a very.
Mine might be The Devil's Rejects. Did you ever
I've
see
never
that?
seen that. No.
It's a Rob Zombie.
Okay.
Directed, but it was
You ever seen The Conjurings? The Conjuring.
I didn't
series?
like. You know, I don't like those.
Have you seen all of them?
I saw one, dude, and I was out.
Which one? The first one?
I think it was the first one.
Okay. First one's fine. Second one is the best.
I don't want to be that scared.
Wow. All right. Didn't realize you were soft like that.
No, I'm not soft. Like The Exorcist is one of my favorite movies.
Are you okay? The Exorcist.
It's a great movie.
The new one or the old one?
Well, I don't know if I've ever seen the new one.
Okay. Well, you're talking about
the only one I ever know of is the one that came out in like the 70s.
Yeah. So the new one is 2 out of 10.
There's a new one?
Yeah, there's a new one that came out like a couple years ago.
That doesn't count.
A, awful, and B, not scary.
It never happened.
Yeah, it's no.
The Exorcist supposedly is on a true story.
I haven't seen. Oh, okay, I don't need to hear that. So is The Conjurings.
Out.
And The Conjurings happened in like Massachusetts.
Do you know what? I don't even know if Skaz lived this, but here we go. Did you guys ever see the Blair Witch Project?
No.
Do you guys ever know anything about it?
Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah.
It It was like a movie that was made on like a real film.
Like camcorders,
Kind
wasn't
of
it?
like almost like a reality movie.
You ever seen The Visit, Joe?
No.
The Visit is, and I've told this to Skaz multiple times, probably the second best and easily the scariest horror movie that I've ever seen in my life.
No, I've watched some crazy ones. Like I like old school, like The Shining, Psycho.
Never seen
Birds.
it. I really want to see the I Know What You Did Last Summer series.
Oh, that's
There's a
coming
new
out.
one.
Yeah,
there's
that's
a new one.
The new one should be good.
But that's a series, right?
It was a book series, yeah, and then they made it movies. But it was about well, here's the deal, though. In the 90s and 2000s, they had a bunch of hot girls. It was like, you ever saw Scream?
No. I've seen the new Poltergeist.
Oh my god!
Didn't think it was good. Anyways,
you don't know what
the other
Scream
two,
is?
No, I know. I know what it is. Doesn't mean I've seen the movie. I know what Happy Gilmore is. I've never seen it. Well, I've seen the first one. Sorry, I've seen the first one.
I'm old.
Anyways, the next two priorities, yeah?
Yeah, what's the next two priorities?
The next two deadline priorities. I'll call it like a 1A, 1B. I think 1B is... I think they're interchangeable as a bat. The lineup feels... They're winning games, but the lineup often has to come from behind, which plays into the point of needing another starter. And as well, they feel like they're a bat away from being a team that... I think they can be a playoff team, but they're a bat away from being able to do anything in the playoffs. And then number 3, rounding out the aspects of baseball that are important. Bullpen. I, in the short term, want to keep Aroldis Chapman, but in the long term, obviously, it makes more sense to trade him. The Red Sox bullpen hasn't been as awful as it has in previous years, but I still think there's room for improvement.
All right. He's Luke Fitz. Who's your favorite podcast?
Favorite podcast is the Section 10 podcast.
Who's your favorite on the show?
My favorite is Jared Carabas, but my favorite specifically on the show is Coley Mick.
How do you feel about Steve?
I like Steve.
Okay. How about Tyler?
I like Tyler. I like Jake. I like all of them.
Okay.
Why are you saying it like that?
I just want to know who you like and don't like.
There's none of them that I don't like at all.
Is there anybody in baseball that you don't like?
Players or
people that like commentary?
I'm sure that there are. Very much, but if you give me like 2 minutes, I could think of one. Maybe we'll come back after the break and I'll have something for you. I got nothing right now.
So you don't dislike anybody?
I mean, I don't like.
What about Pat McAfee?
No, I don't really have a problem with Pat McAfee too much.
What's Stephen A?
I personally love Stephen A. I do not like Kendrick Perkins at all. Not a fan.
Thank you.
That one. There you go. Yeah.
That's what I needed.
I do not like Kendrick Perkins.
Why
at all.
don't you like Kendrick Perkins?
I don't know if he actually believes it or if he's just saying it for the clicks, but he has and I know you guys will agree with me on this, the most irrational, makes no sense Celtics takes. Agree or disagree? And then he'll switch up and be like, "Oh, I've been a big fan of Tatum and Brown."
He gets where he gave his takes to wrong a lot. I think he caters to whatever audience he's speaking to. So you're right.
I'm out on.
I think
Kendrick
he's a little
Perkins.
sometimes. I like his commentary. You know why? Because he's not afraid to say anything.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean he's right. Still,
yeah, no,
still wondering about that
like
bird brain thing with Joe Mazzulla.
Exactly, and I think Brian Scalabrine said something about that. I forget what program this was on, but I don't think he's welcome in the Celtics building.
Yes, he was not invited to the parade.
Yeah,
per Brian.
And I think that's the least of it. I think if he showed up to the Auerbach Center, he would be dismissed.
Okay. Well, he did win a championship in Boston, so it's hard.
Averaging 6 points per game.
Yes, but Ray Allen left and went and won a championship with the literally.
I don't care. Ray Allen is my favorite.
I will tell you
Ray Allen is my favorite non-Michael Jordan player that I never saw.
Johnny Damon left the Red Sox for the Yankees.
I understand.
He still came back.
Yeah, he also won 2 World Series with the Red Sox.
But he came back. They all come back.
There you go.
All right, here is Luke Fitzpatrick with your Sports Hub headlines.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The Red Sox are currently in Minnesota playing the Twins at Target Field. The game is in a rain delay. 4-3, the Red Sox lead heading into the bottom of the 9th inning. David Hamilton pinch running for
was from Roman Anthony, who is batting leadoff tonight. So we'll see what happens with that one. I just wanted to give a quick shout out to one of our listeners. People might know him, Einbein. He's in our YouTube chat often. His name's Paul. He lives in Connecticut. He has been living with one leg. He had a form of MRSA years ago where his leg had to be removed, and he has a prosthetic. What do you call it? A prosthetic leg. And he walks his dogs. He's a loyal listener to the show. But in April, he announced that in April he met with his ortho surgeon to set a date for his right knee replacement. And after several years of dealing with bone-on-bone pain, he decided the risk of another infection was worth it. So he'll be going in tomorrow at 11:15. So he's a huge supporter of the show, listens every night. Wanted to give him a shout-out.
Shout-out Einbein. Just a good guy. You know, we've been thinking about him last couple of days. We knew this was coming up. So hope he's doing well. Hope everything goes well tomorrow. And then we'll be here when he gets back. We're not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll be here. Just hope everything goes well.
He calls in.
He's
usually in the chat.
But
when he's got something good, he calls in. So we call him Einbein. You guys might see him in there as EINBI. BEIN, which I think stands for one leg.
Something like that, yes.
But just, listeners, we are aware of what he's been going through, and so we wish him the best. All right. Well, tomorrow night, Mike Kadlick in studio, Sports Illustrated, CLNS, so that should be fun. Do a ton of camp stuff. Luke, great job once again, sir. You're getting better every day, and when I bust your balls, it's really because I like you and I want you to get better. Because I wouldn't give you any time if I didn't like you. He's looking at me funny, like I don't know how to take that. Well, anyway, Skaz, great job as always. We're back here tomorrow night, everybody. I'm Joe Murray. We'll talk to you tomorrow at 7.